Bullseye with Jesse Thorn is a production of MaximumFun.org and is distributed by NPR.
Hey everybody, it's Jesse. It is Bullseye's 25 for 25. What does that mean? It is the 25th anniversary of Bullseye this fall. That's right. I'm 25 years old. And we are celebrating here in the offices of Maximum Fun with 25 consecutive interviews. We've got Jordan Morris, Rob Corddry, Dan Grayson, Patton Oswalt, Al Madrigal, Solomon Georgio, Eugene O'Neill, Nick Adams, Johnathan Goldstein, Randy and Jason Sklar, Lisa Hanawalt, Rob Huebel, Cameron Esposito, Brandon Bird, Paul Scheer, Elvis Mitchell, Tony Hale, Jimmy Pardo and Matt Belknap, David Wain, Lisa Loeb, Bill Hader, Janet Varney, Elliott Kalan, and Bob Odenkirk. Coming up over the next 2.5 hours, unless anyone trips and falls on the way there. Have we received a confirmation email from Elvis, Kevin? Elvis, we have not received a confirmation email. Elvis Mitchell is a wonderful genius, and he's also a man who emails you back sometimes. So we'll see. We'll see if Elvis Mitchell shows up to this event. But I'm glad to have all of you here. I'm so excited to be doing this. This has been, in addition to like these special things that we're doing, the 3 live shows in New York, Los Angeles, and Santa Cruz, and this 25 for 25 event, we have been going through old tape, going through old hard drives, running off old cassette tapes. I mean, we literally had to get a cassette tape player so that we could digitize cassette tapes of recordings of shows from our Santa Cruz days. It has been a kind of an amazing reminder of all that we've done over the last 25 years. And when I say we, I mean, I'm the only one who was here the whole time, but an incredible group of people has worked on Bullseye over those years. And speaking of the group of people who have worked on Bullseye over those years, my first guest is one of the first people who ever worked on Bullseye. In fact, he's been working on Bullseye since the second week that it aired, because the first week I thought my co-host was going to be my friend Matt Dobbs. His name is Jordan Morris. Jordan, come on in here. Jordan, of course, is my co-host on Jordan Jesse Go. He is also the author of the graphic novel Youth Group. I was his RA. Hi, Jordan.
Hi,
How are
Jesse.
you?
It's great to be here. Congratulations on 25 years of Bullseye. Oh, my God.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you for bringing the energy right away. I'm glad our segment producers got to you. I wish they'd given me notes on what to do.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, and I'm thrilled to be the first guest on this marathon. Is it true that the guests only get less exciting from here?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. No, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're on the internet, people are going to want to see Cotton Candy Randy. And then from there on out,
yes,
it's all a decline.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember meeting me?
I don't think I remember the exact moment, but an early memory I have is so you were my RA at
Performing Arts
UC
Hall.
Santa Cruz, go Slugs. Performing Arts Hall, Porter College, for those who are in the know, for people who want to know what building we lived in.
Yeah.
It was Porter. And I remember seeing inside your room. I don't know why I was looking inside your room. Kind of inappropriate, invasive.
You were trying to figure out if I had pornography hidden.
Sure, right. Listen, it was back in the day we needed hard copy mags. Anyway, and I remember you had posters for The Kids in the Hall and Tenacious D, which were deep cut comedy nerd things, or relatively deep cut comedy nerd things,
sure.
Right? Definitely, I think, I don't know if you had this experience being a comedy obsessive as a kid. You maybe had friends that watched SNL and maybe 1 or 2 friends who had heard of Monty Python, but stuff like Kids in the Hall, Tenacious D, these were deep cuts that you felt were just for you.
Yeah, you had a fair number of friends who had seen the Dana Carvey show, but it had made most of them angry.
Right.
So the ones that had actually
Yes.
enjoyed it were very few.
Sure. Yeah. And so meeting someone who not only had heard of this stuff, but liked it in the same way that I did, that was a big deal. And I remember thinking you were cool because you were on the college improv team. And there's nobody cooler than the captain of a college improv team. Were you the captain? Is that fair to say?
No, that isn't fair to say.
Okay.
Two nice guys started the college improv team, and they quickly lost control of it. There's
always power struggles within improv groups.
Yeah, and they were very nice dudes,
of course,
very talented dudes.
Yeah,
but our eventual co-host Gene was on the team my freshman year. Was the funniest guy there, but he had just quit, and we were just about to have the big auditions for year 2.
Right.
And that's when you and I started working together.
I auditioned for the improv group. I got in. I was so excited. And that started a comedy career that I think many would call fine. The beginnings of a comedy career that some would call relatively consistent.
Yeah. Did you know, speaking of relatively consistent, did you know that the improv group that we started in when we were in college,
which is a Humor Force 5.
Yeah, which was new the year that my freshman year of college. You're 1 year younger than I. Did you know that improv group still exists and is holding auditions right now?
What?
I mean, not like right this minute, but I just saw they're posting for auditions.
That's really amazing. It's very cool. Wild that kind of a sweaty Pulp Fiction reference is still a fine name for a college improv group.
Yep.
Really cool. I know those were some fun times. I am very part of me is very embarrassed to have done improv for as long as I did. But it was a really cool thing, and I met you doing it, and it led to our college radio show and eventual podcast. And when I moved to LA, doing stuff at Upright Citizens Brigade and the late IO Comedy Theater. Those were cool things, and I met a lot of cool people. Improv, a little bit embarrassing, but it forges some bonds, doesn't it?
We work with some wonderful people.
It's true.
Did you ever get your broadcast license at KZSC? Did you ever take the class where you have to learn how to operate the emergency alert system?
I did, yeah. So I did. So I think to host a show on KZSC 88.1 FM, the heavyweight 88, you have to do a certain amount of volunteer hours. Then you have to learn all that stuff. You have to learn when to do the public service announcements, how to play the emergency alert, things like that. And you have to do volunteer hours, logging CDs. I don't know what they do now. Do they still log CDs?
Probably. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah.
So a lot of listening to new releases and listening for swears and marking the tracks that had swears. I did that, and I hosted or co-hosted some other shows while I was there. I did a show called The Funny Show, where I played comedy records.
I don't remember. Oh, well.
No, we can't. People are going to want to hear about the records I played during The Funny Show, but they can't.
Now they're not going to hear anything about your ska show, Jordan.
Oh, yeah. The Special Brew with Brian Heater. I'm sorry. We cannot reminisce about that.
Well, Jordan, I'm grateful to have you here.
Thank you, friend.
Grateful to have had the chance to work with you for almost all of the last 25 years.
Same here.
A pleasure consistently and an honor always. So thanks, bud.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so proud that I was a little part of Bullseye. And 25 years.
Sorry, Jordan, did you hear this?
Oh, God, I'm sorry. Okay, stay tuned for the guy who parks the cars at the studio. Again, the guests get less exciting from here.
Jordan Morris, our next guest on the program as we interview 25 people for the 25th anniversary of Bullseye, is one of the stars of The Daily Show, Children's Hospital, and Hot Tub Time Machine. He's in the movie The Senior, which is in theaters and soon coming to streaming. Mr. Rob Corddry. Rob Corddry. Come on in, Rob. Have a seat.
Rob Corddry, hi.
Hi, Rob. How are you? Those are your headphones.
Yeah.
How are you doing, bud?
Look, I'm moving fast because we only have 5.
Yeah, that sound means the timer has started.
Okay, go.
we seem to be using, we're using the timer that you would have at a swim meet.
I wonder how many of your guests today are going to be a little edgy.
Well, you're used to having a segment producer on late night television tell you what to say and give you jokes to say.
But on late night television,
you're basically just a
puppet.
You're
I can't wait it seems like it goes on forever. You can't wait to be off it, you know?
I have a question for you, Rob.
Go ahead.
You're one of the handsomest guys I know.
Agree.
Have you always, how do you feel about being bald?
Oh, I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
I ask you this as a bald person myself.
Yeah. I love hearing people talk about, their problems with their hair, or I'm thinking about doing this and I'm thinking about doing that. And there's so much stress involved with it. And, it's just, luckily you and I were born with a fairly normal shaped head.
That's true.
Right? We look good bald.
Some people have protuberances.
Some people don't. They have ripples and stuff. But, we're lucky. And now I can just kind of indulge in the freedom of not having to care about so many things that other people have to care about.
So you see the primary advantage of this as being like hair product related? Is that what you're saying?
No. Well, hair product related, that's indirectly, but like I directly, just the stress of not knowing what to do with your hair. Like there's only one thing to do with our hair, or two things: let it grow out or shave it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Have you ever thought about letting it grow out?
Well, I have for a show I just did. I let it go a little bit longer, and it
Did it go sideways?
It was it doesn't go down like Sonny Bono. It definitely but it didn't. I didn't grow it that much, but it wasn't a good look. My wife did not like it.
When was the last time you were not bald?
I think fully 22, 23. My dad is bald. Every male in my family, and some females are losing their hair. And I was doing my hair one day in 7th grade, and I had a beautiful head of feathered hair, butt cut, and I was combing it. My dad walked past the bathroom, and there was this sitcom kind of pause and then he came back and he poked his head in and said, "Enjoy it." And from that moment on, I came to terms with being a bald man. I was I knew it was in the cards. I accepted it. And I almost looked forward to it.
Did you make a plan for it? Did you always expect when I get to a certain point, I'm cutting off all my hair and being a real cue ball?
No. I thought, it was more about thinking I was something I wasn't, in terms of acting. Well, I gotta cram in these leading part romantic leads now. Well, I still have hair, but I would never be that guy anyway. So it was just kind of a false sense of self as a young person.
I mean, you do have a special gift in terms of castability, which is that you are, as a handsome, bald guy, you are to some extent excluded from romantic leads, unless you're a giant muscle man like The Rock or something.
Right.
However, you have exactly the right amount of approachability to be the best friend.
Right.
That gives you it's how for a long time, every best friend on a sitcom was a friendly black guy with an afro and glasses.
Yeah.
And it was the afro and glasses that made him comfortable enough to racist white people that they could deal with him being on the show.
Right.
Right. I think being bald is the equivalent of the eyeglasses and the afro.
It's definitely a thing. And also to play a villain too.
Oh, yeah.
All you have to do is be able to sort of be likable in spite of playing what you're playing.
Have you ever worn a wig?
Yeah, I hate it. I hate having hair on my forehead.
What's the wiggiest wig you've ever worn?
I wore a wig for an episode of a TV show I did back in the early 2000s, and it was professionally done, real hair, and it was just I just remember it being in. It wasn't that long. It wasn't. Oh, you know what? Hot Tub Time Machine, Lou, when he's Motley Lou, lead singer of Motley Lou.
Right. Sure. I think we all remember that cultural touchstone.
Sure. That was quite a wig.
Well, Rob, we're out of time. You heard that the final heat ended with that beep.
Yeah.
It's very nice to see you.
It's so great to see you.
Thank
it's been
you
a long time. It's good to be back.
Indeed. And thank you for being a friend of the show for these many years. It's very much appreciated.
And congratulations.
Thank you. I'll take
Happy birthday or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, I'll take your congratulations.
Right. You're
Rob.
handsome too.
Rob, thank you. That's very nice of you. I didn't say that how handsome you were over and over to get you to say that, but I'm glad that it worked. Rob Corddry. Joining me next is one of the first guests that I remember having on The Sound of Young America. The first guest that I remember having, Kevin, is Dick Dale, the King of the Surf Guitar. Dick Dale, the King of the Surf Guitar. This is how we booked Dick Dale, the King of the Surf Guitar. Jordan went to dickdale.net. He did not have dickdale.com. He went to dickdale.net. There was a phone number on there. He called the phone number, and it was just Dick Dale's trailer. Just Dick Dale lived in a trailer in Palmdale or something. Just called, yes, this is Dick Dale. The next guest I remember talking to was already a legendary stand-up comic. He had already been in Down Periscope or McHale's Navy. I can't remember which one right now. He remains one of America's greatest stand-up comics. He is, of course, was one of the stars of Big Fan and Ratatouille. He has a brand new stand-up album coming out on November 20th called Black Coffee and Ice Water. Mr. Patton Oswalt. Hi, Patton.
Hey.
Where are you, Patton?
I am in the dressing room at the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, thank you so much for doing this. Are you like about to walk on stage in half an hour or something?
It's weird I was living in the other half of Dick Dale's trailer back. I remember that in 2000. And I did not have a phone, but he let me know. He was like, I had such a good time with this show. You should do it. And then I was like, absolutely. Yeah. Got me out of the trailer. So thank you.
I really remember that like one of the proudest moments of my early career is, and I've shared this with you before, but like in 2002 or something like that, you were playing a New Year's show in San Francisco with Greg Proops, and Dana Gould, and you guys were having a New Year's Eve dinner in San Francisco, and I lived in San Francisco at the time, and you invited me and my wife, and we went to this show, and we went to this dinner, and I remember so vividly you turning to someone there, Vandelavita and Dave Eggers were there, and Bucky Sinister was there. The modern drunkard guy whose name I'm forgetting now was there.
Yes.
And saying like, these guys have a radio show where they interview people, but about comedy. Like they care about comedy.
Well, you got to understand that what a novelty and what an oasis you were for comedians back then, because we were used to doing morning drive time where they're basically just trying to get you to set up your bits and do 2 quick, loud minutes and help them, give away panties or T-shirts and just promote the club. It had nothing to do with actually talking to you like a human being. So sitting down with someone that was a fan of the form and could talk to you the way that comedians talk to each other when they hang out meant a lot. It was now that's the norm, I think, with podcasts. But back then that was, oh, wow, we're going to actually take our time and talk. This is fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I sometimes think like, what have I wrought? And I mean, obviously not just me, also it's also Jimmy Pardo's fault and Mark Maron's fault and Chris Hardwick's fault. But like, it really does seem to be this thing that was for special nerds of this special thing once upon a time, and now is for driving America towards fascism.
Exactly. We had this delusion that we were really going to open up and move America forward, and the conservatives and fascists saw how effective it was, and just used and looked at us using all of our ironic racism and said, what if we weren't ironic about it? And lo and behold, people seem to love it. So yeah, there you go. It's up to us to take it back at this point.
Patton, I was just watching you on the Great American Baking Show holiday special, the Halloween holiday special. My daughter will only watch Halloween-themed television programs through the entire month of October.
Heck yeah.
So we really have to do a lot of digging. Like, I want to be clear, Patton. Like, if you're imagining that we're allowed to watch, for example, a regular episode about a werewolf, no. It has to have trick-or-treating type. It has to have Halloween content in it.
Set in Halloween. October, brown and orange leaves, all of it.
So I'm watching you make this cake, and you won the challenge, spoiler alert, and I was really thrilled. But I have to say, that must have been a really tasty cake for you to win, because it looked horrible.
Yeah, it was. It came out very odd. I thought, again, pumpkin and spice together, those aren't really my favorite flavors, so I'm not as focused on making it look amazing as I tried to make my quicksand cake look, which didn't work. But yeah, I guess the taste beat the look.
Did you fly to England to shoot that?
I flew to England.
That's amazing.
Out in the British countryside.
I like Casey Wilson and Andrew Reynolds are the hosts of the American version of the show. So that's great. Like, I'm sure people that you know and have met, and they're both wonderful, both past guests of Bullseye. And so I imagine there's like some trust built into it because of that. But also, you flew all the way to England to embarrass yourself on television.
Yeah, exactly. That's hey, look, at least I got a free trip to England out of it. I'm not complaining. I'm very, very happy. And I got to stay in a gorgeous hotel in the countryside and got to go into London one day. So I have no complaints.
Patton, the bell just rang, but I have one last follow-up question for you.
Go right ahead.
Did you practice ahead of time?
I did practice on the pumpkin spice cake. I did not practice on the quicksand cake, and it really showed.
Well, Patton, I'm grateful for these literal decades of support that you've shown the show and my work. And I'm, as you know, I couldn't be a greater admirer of you and your work. So thanks so much for making the time.
Jesse, thanks for starting this, and thank you for sticking to it.
Yeah, well, thanks, you know. What can I say? I'm afraid to try anything new.
Then the world benefited from your terror.
Say hi to the Pabst Theater for me. Thank you, Patton.
I will. Thanks, man.
The legendary Mr. Patton Oswalt. Oh, our next guest on the program. By the way, if you are just tuning in, we are interviewing 25 people in a row in honor of the 25th anniversary of Bullseye, formerly The Sound of Young America. I'm Jesse Thorn. If you're tuning in and you didn't know, I'm Jesse Thorn. God bless you. But we've got 3 people down and we've got 22 people to go. Gee whiz. Our next guest is a past co-host of this program with me. He's also the first internet friend that I ever made. He's worked on New Girl, BoJack Horseman, and Blackish, among other television programs as a writer. He helped create the Max Fun podcast Bubble with Jordan Morris. Please welcome Nick Adams. Hey, Nick, how's it going, buddy? Have a seat.
Thorn.
What did you expect, Nick, when we made friends on okplayer.com?
Mm-hmm.
We were a comedy message board. I mean, a rap music message board.
A comedy message board buried inside a hip hop message board is
exactly
like the nerdiest place 2 people can meet.
Yeah. And you at the time were living in Arizona, I believe, because your wife was in graduate school there.
Tucson.
What did you expect when you agreed to come to Santa Cruz and guest host The Sound of Young America with me?
Something deep inside me said, this guy, you can make a lifelong friend. You could find a kindred spirit in comedy. And this guy will probably still be doing the show in a quarter decade. I knew it. I knew it in my bones.
The thing about the radio this was the summer after Jordan graduated from college. So I was I am a year older than Jordan. So I kept driving back to Santa Cruz for a year while Jordan was still in college for us to do our college radio show together. Then he graduated, and that's when I had this fateful conversation with my now wife, then girlfriend, which was, she said to me, I said to her, I feel like maybe Jordan's graduated, maybe I should stop doing The Sound of Young America, because I live an hour and a half away from the radio station and I'm not a student there anymore.
It's a little McConaughey.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I think what I said was, I feel like I'm wearing my letter jacket from being the football quarterback back to the high school.
Right.
And she said to me the fateful words, well, you don't do anything else, which was true at the time. And I decided to keep doing it. And that's when I decided this summer, at least, I'm going to have co-hosts, because I was terrified.
Right.
So it was like you, W. Kamau Bell, I think it was also on OK Player a little bit.
Yeah.
Brent Weinbach, the Casper Hauser guys, Kathy Kamen Goldmark, all these people that I just begged to drive to Santa Cruz to do this.
Right.
Why were you even in the area?
My wife was in a conference. It was like a Women Writers of Color conference that she was doing in San Francisco. She has family there, so we were just staying there. I did a set at the Punchline, and then I was like telling my wife's family, they're like, what are you going to Santa Cruz for? I was like, oh yeah, my buddy who I met on the internet has a radio show in Santa Cruz. Oh, does he go to Santa Cruz? No, he used to, but he still has a radio show at Santa Cruz. And they're like, you're driving, you're not going to get murdered, are you? I was like, I don't know, I might get murdered, but... It's amazing to me. There are like these two internet message boards that I spent so much time on when I was 20 years old. A Special Thing, the comedy message board, and OK Player, which was mostly a music board, although there was a lot of other things going on there. And I think like the communities of people that I met there have actually been essential to my life. Yeah.
You know, just yesterday I was on Reddit and somebody in a menswear forum was asking about this scarf that one of the characters from Black Panther was wearing. And I'm like, oh, I can help this person. Yeah, my friend Wale Oyejide from OK Player designed that scarf.
Yeah. Well, that's what's amazing about the internet. We talk a lot about the bad of it, but whatever it is you're passionate about, there is another idiot out there in the world who is similarly passionate about it. You just have to find them. And before message boards, it was like, how do I find this other idiot? And now you can just type in, hey, is there another idiot that is really passionate about this one random thing? And there's like a long list of people who are like even more passionate about it. And you're like, okay, I gotta back out of here.
You've always been relatively long on bravado among the people who I know.
That's about all I'm long on, Jesse.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Public radio, sir.
Oh.
Did you feel at that time, I mean, I'm talking about 2003 or whatever it was, that you were going to have a career in comedy? Because you've had a pretty, not as a stand-up, but mostly as a writer, but you had an extraordinary career as a writer.
I think if you do it long enough, the curse is, it's not like I'm destined to be great or I know I have enough to be rich and famous. It's a little of what you were talking about with the show. Is like, I don't know how to do anything else. I don't want to do anything else. And then if you stick with something long enough, you're like, oh shit, I'm pretty good at it. You know?
I have this really vivid memory of the original administrator of OK Player went to work as a television writer on
Angela,
on Girlfriends, I think, if I remember correctly.
Scrubs.
Scrubs?
She was on Scrubs, I know for sure.
And that was the first person who actually worked in show business that I didn't know her at all.
Yeah.
But to me, that meant show business was real.
And everyone on the boards was like, oh no, she's doing it. You can do, you can do it, or a person can do it. Yeah, it's weird. But it does, like, it expands your networks, and then that expands your network of possibilities. And then obviously the foreign exchange, the second most amazing black-white OK Player showbiz hookup in history. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah. We're number one, right?
We're absolutely number one, unless there's another couple of guys.
You know what? all this harmony that there's been between the races lately, I think that's mostly our doing.
Yeah, when you go back and you really map it out.
2025 is really a high mark for harmony between the races in America, and I think that's because we're such good friends.
We meet a couple of years later. Obama is on the scene. Coincidence? Maybe not.
Nick, the beep went off. Thank you for joining me on this special show.
Anytime, Thorny.
Nick Adams, television writer Nick Adams. Our next guest is, thank you, bud. Our next guest is another old friend of ours. We're going to get into lots of famous people over the course of this conversation, but this next guest is an old friend. He is a musician and programmer. He is also a classmate of mine from UC Santa Cruz. He was my freshman year dorm room neighbor. And he is also the composer and performer of the original theme music for The Sound of Young America. You can buy his t-shirts on Instagram at Cruelty Rots Your Soul, Dan Grayson. Hi, Dan. How you doing, bud?
Hey, doing great. Yeah, that would be a very different message. Cruelty rocks your soul as opposed to rots it. Yeah.
You're wearing the original Sound of Young America t-shirt right now.
I am, yeah, with the Ming the Merciless rocket ship on it.
Did you just steal it directly from Ming the Merciless?
Yeah, I did actually.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. That's called graphic design.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you remember writing the Sound of Young America theme music?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it takes me back to circa, maybe 2002, 2003, something like that.
Maybe? Because you would have been, you're 1 year older than I, so you would have been graduated from college.
Yeah.
I would have still been either in my senior year or in my bonus year where I was driving pathetically back and forth to Santa Cruz to do the show with Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I was living in a pool house in Valley Village that our friend Jesse Davis's grandma had, and
there was no bathroom.
There was no bathroom in there. No, I had to go across, walk past the pool, and use the bathroom in the house over there. But what we did have was a very makeshift little recording studio set up.
I mean, you had, when we were in college, between your sophomore year and your junior year, you made like a choice to transform your life, where previously you had been a classic guy with a Pink Floyd bedsheet tacked to his wall. Just the most classic version of that. A lovely one. A lovely one.
That specific kind of nerd, though. You know?
Yeah. And you're always a lovely man. I want to make that clear. And then you just, at some point in your junior year of college, were like, hey, I wrote and recorded an album, and you started playing shows from having just been a guy that just sat with headphones in his studio. That was very inspirational to me, Dan.
Yeah, I went for a full-on rebrand, I would say. I used to call it the era of the new Dan.
Yeah, and it worked great. And one of the elements of that was writing and recording original music.
Oh, yeah, it was absolutely transformative. Like, that was the thing.
We used to drag you to the station sometimes, too. In addition to us writing that theme song in the pool house, we used to bring you to the station at 7:30 in the morning sometimes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember us doing it for the show, but we were also doing the KZSE news stuff, too. And yeah. You were the news director. I was the assistant news director. And we had that show that we would do every week for that.
You know that the next assistant news director became the producer of Bullseye with Jesse Thorn, Nick White.
Oh, my God. I didn't actually know that.
So I guess what I'm telling you is you blew it.
Yeah.
Your highly successful job where you work at PayPal now is a total failure because you could have been working in public radio this whole time.
I know. Look what I could have done instead.
Well, Dan, I'm grateful to you. This T-shirt, I think, is going to come up later. So make sure and show the camera the T-shirts. You have a svelte bod too, so you look great. This T-shirt is going to come up later in the program if everything goes according to Hoyle. Dan, thank you for joining us. Mm-hmm. It's nice to see you, friend.
Jesse, it was an honor.
Good luck with that beautiful baby. I love seeing the pictures of the beautiful baby.
Oh, thanks so much.
Wow, it's really old home week. Our next guest is one of the original co-hosts of The Sound of Young America. He has for decades now been a reality television producer, and he's clearly wearing a Los Angeles Dodgers t-shirt to taunt me. My old friend, Eugene O'Neill. Hi, Gene. How are you?
Hi, Jesse. And I might be watching the Dodgers collapse right now, so perhaps it is you who shall taunt me
Yes.
when all is said and done.
It's great to see you, bud.
Good to see you.
We were talking about this when we were recording. We're going to have a special episode of Bullseye that comes out that will be hosted by you, me, and Jordan. And when we were recording that, one of the things that we talked about was that you and I met in the core class for Porter College at UC Santa Cruz. This was the class that everyone who was at this residential college had to take together their freshman year. We were in the same class. And the thing that I remember most about that class is you telling me later that you thought I was either drunk or high the entire time.
Yes.
Tell me why you thought that, Gene.
Well, as you recall, it was kind of a hippie school. It was a place where you either wore corduroy pants or hemp clothes. Guys would wear their robes a lot everywhere. And you had a very kind of uptown way of dressing.
When you say uptown, you mean that I dress like Morris Day?
You would wear like suits a lot, but then you would also wear these like really big like throwback basketball sneakers. You just had a sort of style of dress I had never seen before. And then you had a kind of a very maybe arts school mannered way of speaking that I thought was very funny, by the way. You were just very different from everybody else. And yeah, I don't know why, but I just thought, man, this guy does a lot of drugs and I need to hang out with him.
I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I just thought you were, as I still feel, one of the funniest people I had ever met. You were also a very reluctant performer. Like I think when I enlisted you and Jordan into The Sound of Young America, there were times when even being in the radio studio felt like a lot of performing to you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it felt natural to you guys. I guess that's what you guys felt like. You guys were just being yourselves. I kind of felt like I was living and dying with everything I said. And yeah, I just like every time, you're trying to be funny on the radio. And I just felt like I had a lot of whiffs, or at least I remembered the whiffs way more than I remembered the hits. And it just felt like it was killing me doing radio. Like, it was just torture doing it. And you guys were just so funny. Like, you and Jordan just had such great chemistry together. You guys bounced off each other so well. I just kind of felt like, I was like the Pete Best or the Shemp, like. I
mean, I always thought you were kind of a Shemp, but not because it was purely physical, Gene.
Okay, thank you. As long as, yeah, I mean, we all physically want to be compared to Shemp.
One of the things that I couldn't believe when I met you as a Northern Californian was that you grew up in the Valley here in Southern California, and you grew up with family in show business. And not when I say in show business, I don't mean like the kind of in show business that people might imagine, like Lion Tamer or whatever, movie star, but like your parents had the normalest, most amazing show business jobs in the world, which was like, one day you're just like, oh yeah, my parents wrote for Hercules, The Legendary Journeys.
Did that reveal live up to they had the most amazing job in show business? Writers for Hercules, The Legendary Journey.
It. But then when I found out that your dad was in the stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Dad had a few bit parts in some bad 80s horror movies.
What do you think you learned from having parents who were screenwriters and, middle-class screenwriters, like ones who worked but weren't, Joe Esterhaus or whatever? That's the best I could come up with for celebrity screenwriter.
Well, what's funny was I guess the two things I learned was because when I was young, they were writing, and then they got laid off. They were writing for like General Hospital, and then they did not work for like a very, very long time. It was just very hard for them to find a show. So we kind of very quickly went from like looking like we were a family with money to a family with no money, and living with that anxiety of, where is money going to come from?
Because your parents were a writing team.
Yeah, they were a writing team. And so I kind of grew up a little resentful of their choice of vocation, because I just thought, like, why don't you guys just get jobs that pay you something every year rather than trying to hit a home run with writing? And I thought to myself, I would never do this. Like, this is just, there's way too much insecurity in this. And then, lo and behold, like when I graduated from college, I had realized that's what I wanted to do, is I wanted to try to be a writer. The other thing I had learned was to resent the existence of reality television. Because I remember when Survivor first came out, my parents were just like, oh, like reality shows were a bad word in us. You were not allowed to watch a reality TV show in the house, because to them, that was like, this is what's taking, food off of our plate is these shows.
And now you've worked on Big Brother for
now,
20 years.
Right. And once I couldn't really quite make it as a writer, I now work as a reality TV show producer. So I learned both of those lessons from my parents.
Well,
Thank
Gene,
you.
I heard the tone that means that we're out of time, but
Hey.
it's always nice to see
All
you.
the time I need, baby.
I wish you nothing. I wish you nothing but the best, and the Dodgers nothing but the worst.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. I would take it if you flip that. You can wish me the worst and wish the Dodgers the best.
Gene, I wish the Dodgers the best with their collapse.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jesse.
Gene O'Neill, original co-host of The Sound of Young America. Our next guest is another past co-host of this program. In that one summer where Jordan went away to college and I was terrified to go behind a microphone by myself, I invited this man down to Santa Cruz to guest host The Sound of Young America with me. He's been my friend ever since. He is, of course, a past Daily Show correspondent. He is an actor on most television shows.
All the shows.
He just wrapped a Disney show with Jon Favreau. He just produced a special with the comedian Vince Caldera, which is out today.
Today.
And he's doing stand-up comedy, Al Madrigal.
Tonight.
Hi, Al.
Tonight.
How are you doing, Al?
You're doing great. Great to see you. This
nice
is
to see you
quite
too.
a challenge. So every 5 minutes, somebody's coming in, knocking them out.
Yeah.
Here, you're doing it. You did it to yourself.
Yeah, I did. These are all people I emailed. Al.
Yeah, totally.
What did you think it was going to be like when you drove to Santa Cruz to do The Sound of Young America with me?
That's hilarious because, it's coming from San Francisco to get to Santa Cruz. You're going up to 17. It's kind of treacherous.
It's a terrifying freeway.
I remember actually driving a car, and it wasn't because we had clients up there. I was working for my parents' family business while I was doing stand-up comedy also.
So you were still a professional person who fired people.
Correct. That's what it is. A professional hatchet man. If you saw Up in the Air, I did that. And so we had people in Santa Cruz. And I remember driving up to 17 and going, oh, there must be a forest fire. And it was my gearbox.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I was driving a car on fire up to 17. And so you'd think that would have stopped me, and I would never go up there again. But I love it up there. I mean, Capitola, Aptos, and Santa Cruz, it's all very nice. It's
Felton,
a lovely
Ben
area.
Lomond. We could do this all day.
Yes. A little methy.
Yeah, true. That's fair.
But great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monterey Bay Aquarium.
A lot of street rats, but lovely.
Can I tell you what happened the first time I drove over the 17?
What?
I didn't learn to drive until I was 20.
Oh, shit.
I'm native San Franciscan. I'm from the Mission. I just took the bus.
Okay.
But I was tired of this. You had to get out of Santa Cruz. You had to take an Amtrak bus over the Santa Cruz mountains to get to San Jose, and then you could go somewhere if you were on public transit. So I finally decided I'm going to learn to drive and buy a car. And the first time that I drove over the 17 in this 1982 El Camino that I invested my money in, I saw lights behind me. It's nighttime. I didn't know what to do. I went too far, then finally found a turnoff. There are not a lot of turnoffs on the 17 either. Finally found a too small cul-de-sac off the side of the road. Pulled over. Cop pulls over behind me. First thing he says is, "Why did you take so long to pull over?" I said, "I'm sorry. I didn't know how getting pulled over works." I said that. Then he said, "Are you drunk?" And I said, "No, sir, I'm just bad at driving."
That's great.
And I didn't get a ticket.
You shouldn't have.
It worked out.
You shouldn't have. You know what I'm just thinking of, though, in going back to like this challenge? You know what would be nice?
What's that?
Maybe an earphone wipe.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Right, guys? Do you think that we could do like a quick, somebody could pop in with a wet one
Are
and
you
just
worried
hit 'em?
are you going to get an earborne disease?
I mean, there's a hole right there. If it's going pretty easy.
So you're worried
This guy's
about-
got to pop out, live
like
in a
one of those-
headphone for a second, then pop right in a new ear hole.
Like one of those brain-eating bacteria,
Yeah,
maybe?
you saw the Peacemaker season 1. Right? Like some moth is going to be living in my fucking brain. Yeah. Anyway.
When did you decide to quit being a firer?
When I got the job, I got a gig. I got cast to this nationwide search for a Latino comic actor on my own show. So yeah, I went to Montreal just for laughs. Lorenzo, my son, was just being born, who came here. I was reminded, and you taught. You got to shadow you doing podcasting.
It's true, as a young teen.
And then I guess he was walking to 7-Eleven to get taquitos or something, and then. One of the lovely members of your staff said, "Oh, who's your favorite guest that you've had on?" Thinking that he would say English teacher or something like that, and he said Natasha Leggero, probably the best. Yeah, liked her. So just got set up with guests.
He's all set.
Right?
He's all set.
But so Lorenzo was just being born. I got cast in this search and then moved the little family down to L.A. So I moved here in 2003 and been lucky enough to kind of work ever since. That show went kaput right away, but it was an excellent lesson and never count on anything down here. And I've been happily going from show to show with a big smile on my face ever since.
I feel like you are... Because, Bill Withers started doing music professionally when he was like 30, when he got out of the Navy. You started doing stand-up at like 27 or something
28,
like
yeah.
that.
Just as I'm about to turn 28 was when I started.
And I think there is a big difference if you are pursuing something that you started as a grown-up. You know what I mean? Like a real...
Sure. You take it a lot more seriously, I think. And I needed that time anyway. I was like, ADD C student that just really needed time to figure it out. So it was great.
Can I tell you what you told me one time? And you can tell me if it sounds insane coming out of my mouth. You were working on The Daily Show and living in Los Angeles. Daily Show shoots in New York.
Commuting back and forth, killing myself. Yeah.
You are flying back and forth twice a week so that you could go Monday through Thursday at The Daily Show and then come home over the weekend. And I said, "How's that going, Al?" And I said, "It must be hard flying back and forth." And you said, "It's great. It gives me time to work on screenplays."
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Does it sound insane coming out of my mouth?
It does.
Now?
It does. It was insane. Yeah.
Well, Al, I'm
lovely seeing you. Congratulations! I left a little message for you out there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to have been the beneficiary of so much of your hard work. And it's always really good to see you.
You are a friend for life. Yeah.
Thank you, Al. Give your family a hug. Al
will.
Madrigal.
All right, let's wipe these babies down, huh?
Yeah, wipe them down. Wipe them down. Sorry, Brandon. You're gonna get whatever Al's got in his ears. Our next guest on the program, as we continue what I now realize is only the first hour of this operation, is another guy I went to college with. Look, I had to email 50 people to get 25 yeses. So a lot of people I went to college with were on that list. He is a celebrated painter of popular art. Some of his most famous works include Nobody Wants to Play Sega with Harrison Ford, the Jerry Orbach car, and you can find so much of his work online at brandonbird.com, painter Brandon Bird. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Jesse, how you going?
I'm well.
How you going?
Yeah,
Is that what I said?
I'm going goodly. What is the current state of the Orbach car?
Unfortunately, I just dismantled it. It is gone away to the junkyard in the sky.
For years, you had a car that was like a Ford Crown Vic?
Yeah, it was a Crown Vic with a picture of Crown Vic with like I think the exact color was Aztec gold, like a 2-layered gold paint job covered with artwork of Jerry Orbach in tribute to who I think is one of the greatest people to ever live.
I mean, you've always been a fan of Jerry Orbach.
Yeah. And, it's a meditation on mortality. And unfortunately, cars don't last forever. So it got really unsafe to drive. And then it stopped driving at all. And I was like, what do I do with this thing? So just this in the last week, pop the doors off, pop the hood off, pop the, what's the thing in the back? The trunk.
Yeah.
Pop those off. I've saved the artwork on those, but the rest of the car got towed away. And I guess if you go to the pick and pull in Monrovia, you can pull apart off the Jerry Orbach car.
Somebody who's looking for a dashboard that matches their Jerry Orbach car in the pick and pull is going to be really excited.
Well, the dash stopped working. That's one of the reasons it was very unsafe. Was that you had to kind of guess your speed and whether you had gas.
You really did. I mean, when you conceived of this car, which was funded through an early Kickstarter, it was not conceived to be your everyday mode of conveyance. You had, I believe, a Toyota Matrix at the time.
It was a Mazda 3.
Mazda 3. There you go.
Mazda Speed.
You were driving a Mazda at the time.
Yeah.
But I remember this moment where your life changed forever, which was when you scraped up the bottom of your car.
Oh, right. Because I went to Max FunCon.
Yeah.
And it had just happened, and I didn't have the Orbach car wasn't finished. So I was like, somebody else who's going has to give me a ride, and you arranged all that.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
And you realized this Orbach car is not going to be.
Yeah. So while, in my mind, I was like, I have a normal car, and then I'll have this funny art car, which may or may not turn out. I didn't know if it was going to look cool or stupid or what, because it could have been a bad tattoo that I had to drive around in. It ended up looking great. The airbrush guys, oh my God, it looked awesome. And my normal car just got totaled. And I was like, well, technically I have another car. And I was like, I'll just see how it goes, just having this be my car for a while. And it just kept me my car.
How long did you drive it? 10 years?
Not that long. 25 years.
25. I think it was close to 10 years, Brandon.
Actually, the Kickstarter was 2016. Now it's 20. Yeah, the Kickstarter was almost 9 years ago, but it was made in 2017. I think. Yeah. So, yeah.
Were you prepared when it became your everyday car for what that meant for your lifestyle?
No.
Because when you drive an Aztec gold flake painted lowrider that has Jerry Orbach on the hood and doors, it comes with certain responsibilities.
I mean, it's interesting. I think the weirdest reactions I got were people who were like, "What a cool car!" and they had no idea who it was. They didn't even register. They were just like, "That's a cool car." People go, "Can I buy it?" I'd be like, "Do you like Jerry Orbach?" They'd be like, "Woo." Or people go, "What a cool taxi, man!" And be like,
they just thought it was your friend that got killed in a shootout.
I don't know. Sometimes cops would really like it because it was a former cop car,
right?
An instrument of destruction that was turned into an instrument of peace.
Yeah.
But I'm just reflecting back on the memories. Although, truthfully, the car itself was kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And if I had to do it over again, and I do want to do another Jerry Orbach car.
You specifically want to do another Jerry Orbach car.
Well, yeah.
You're not going to pivot to
the
Ice-T
license plate I got for it was Orbach 1.
Yeah.
Inspired by the Ecto 1, of course. Every kid wants a custom car. And I think this helped me live out that fantasy.
What's the next car going to be?
Orbach 2.
But have you thought about, you can't just go buy one of those cop cars anymore. There was a time when you could. But...
Yeah. What I'm thinking is doing a fundraiser maybe in phases and first get the vehicle and then let the vehicle decide, the type of vehicle, decide what kind of art goes on it. If it's a Prius, then it could be a bunch of kind of those, do you remember in the 90s, Earth Day murals? Yeah. A rainforest with Jerry Orbach with a koala or something.
Oh, but see, it would still have Jerry Orbach.
Oh, yeah. They'd all, okay. Yeah. Or a surf van with cool surf Jerry Orbach imagery. Because it is half of it is about gyro, half of it is about kind of like car culture and car medium, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that's what I like to do with art is like pop culture stuff, but also like, play around with like the form and the styles, and there are lots of different like art car styles.
Well,
So
Brandon, I'd
like to do Orbach too.
I wish you all the luck in the world with Orbachs 2 through 12.
Yeah.
All the future Orbachs that may be in your life. And I look forward to the overrun in fundraising that will allow me to drive the iced tea car. Thank you for joining me. Brandon Bird, the original painter
Pleasure
of
to
light.
be here.
You can find him online at brandonbird.com. I think our next guest is up here inside this computer. He is a radio producer, an author, and a host who you might have heard on This American Life. He is best known as the host of the incredible podcast Heavyweight, which began on Gimlet, but can now be heard on Pushkin Industries. Mr. Johnathan Goldstein.
Hi.
Joining me perhaps from Canada? Where do you live these days, Johnathan?
I'm in Minnesota, which is like the Canada of America.
Oh, how are you doing? Gosh, your beard looks gorgeous.
Thank you. It's just kind of I've kind of given up.
How have you been feeling about being buffeted by the winds of change in the podcasting industry? I mean, your show was meant one of a pile that came to an end at Gimlet. And you were sort of up in the air for a while.
Yeah, we were. I never fully understood why they bothered with us. It just seemed easier to have, these 4-hour podcasts where they just record, like the thing that I'm doing is like these audio documentaries that sometimes take years for an episode. So I was just happy for as long as it lasted. And I don't know. I feel a little like the canary in the coal mine or something. I'm hoping this works for all of our sakes.
Were you terrified that you had come to the end of the line for careers for people who made sound-rich audio fancy stuff?
Well, I will say that it doesn't take much to terrify me. I mean, if the doorbell or the phone rings, I'm terrified right now. I minimized the screen so it doesn't feel as intense. I feel like I would just keep doing it. When I first met you, when you were just a little boy, I remember I had just moved into a storage closet. It was a storage closet that they had told me was my new office at the CBC. And, I was just doing my own thing and in this little storage room off the newsroom, and no one really understood it. You did. And you connected me with a lot of people that ended up being on the show. But I don't know. I'd probably just keep doing it. I mean, I was recording after the show was canceled. I don't know. I feel a little bit like I've said, like I feel like an outsider artist or something who just kind of got lucky, I
mean, in a way, it is as remarkable that your form of outsider art had a moment as insider art. Like there was this period where if you were someone who was really skilled at creating the kind of audio that you create, and obviously your work is distinctive from anyone else's, it's very Johnathan Goldstein-y, but like the kind of high touch audio that you're able to make, that was like an in-demand job skill when it had been the opposite of that for 40 years. And, as the podcast economy collapsed, would once again become the opposite of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like when it was booming for the first time in my life, I felt like, oh, I'm at the right place at the right time. I feel like when I was in high school, I missed the sexual revolution, and all that hippie stuff and everything. But I felt like, because I was doing it when This American Life, like when I started as a producer at This American Life, it was really the only game in town for that kind of audio. I mean, like maybe Radio Lab and and a couple other things. So I still feel like it's even though it isn't what it was, it's still bigger than it was way back when. So.
Do you feel secure right now?
Like just in life or career-wise?
Career-wise, professionally,
Oh, okay.
But also in life. I'll take in life as well.
Yeah, I feel okay. I got the beard. I'm in the Midwest. I'm in a red tracksuit.
No,
got
you
the
do
world
look
on
good.
a chain.
You're looking great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think I feel just lucky to be doing it again.
There were a couple.
Yeah.
There were a couple of times that I went to the public radio conferences and found myself just glomming on to someone. And there was a year that I glommed on to you. And you had come down from Canada. You were still living in Canada at the time and doing Wiretap. And I was so grateful to have someone to bother who also didn't feel like they belonged there.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. It's so funny. I remember that conference in particular. I was there. All I had was the CBC had sent me there with a life-sized stand-up, poster of myself that I just stood beside, feeling very uncomfortable and begging people to take these handmade CDs that I had. And I thought you had it really like together because you were handing out these candies that said America's Sweetheart or your radio sweetheart.
That might be true. That sounds like something I would do.
And I thought, man, this guy, like, I didn't bring any candy. I
want to be clear. It didn't work. Like, I don't want you to misapprehend the situation. It was a failure, but
yeah.
I think at that conference was the conference where I was at the Public Radio International booth on the conference floor, and someone walked by from WHYY in Philadelphia, which carried my show. It was one of the few stations that carried my show. And they grabbed her, I think, because they wanted to get like a pull quote from her, kind of thing. She was she's a program director of a big station. She carried my show. They're like, this is an ally. And I met her. She's very nice. And then they said to her, well, what does Terry think of the show? Meaning Terry Gross, who produced her Fresh Air, a similar show to mine out of WHYY in Philadelphia. And this is like the only thing I remember from that time is just this woman from HYY turning to the guy standing next to me from PRI and saying, well, one time in the hallway, she told me she thought it had a stupid name.
That's a pull quote.
She's a very nice woman. I can't emphasize enough. Both this woman who said that and Terry Gross, very nice people, lovely people, brilliant people.
Yeah. Well, you have a nice name, though. You personally.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Johnathan Goldstein's not bad either.
It's okay.
Do you miss those little bagels that they have in Montreal?
No, not so much. I
really like them.
People get excited about bagels and they have very, big opinions. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay with Minnesota bagels. That should be my catchphrase. I'm okay with Minnesota bagels.
Johnathan, it's really nice to see you. I hope I'll see you down here in Los Angeles sometime soon.
I would love that. It's so nice to see you too. And if you're ever in the Twin Cities, please, you let me know.
Okay, we'll see you up there. Johnathan Goldstein, podcasting legend and genius. We're going to take a quick break so that I can go to the bathroom and get a new seltzer. You're watching 25 consecutive interviews on Bullseye with Jesse Thorn to celebrate our 25th anniversary. We have so many cool people coming up, including Rob Huebel and Solomon Georgio, Paul Scheer, Tony Hale, Jimmy Pardo, and Matt Belknap, and many, many more. So please stay tuned to this live stream. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting us these many years. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Hey, everybody, it's Jesse. We're back. Thank you for watching on the live stream. Thank you for watching. If you're watching later at home on YouTube, thank you for listening. If you're listening on the radio, it's the 25th anniversary of Bullseye this fall. Hard for me to believe, but true. And so we are interviewing 25 people in a row. And my next guest on the program is someone who has my job, but does it better, over there on KCRW on the west side of Los Angeles. He is, of course, a legendary culture critic, in addition to being a legendary radio host and an occasional film and television producer. He's the host of The Treatment on KCRW, Elvis Mitchell. Hi, Elvis. How are you?
How are you? I'm happy to be here for terrifying live broadcasts, streaming cast, whatever we call these kinds of things nowadays.
What is the most terrified that you've been to be on the radio?
The first year of my show, first couple of years we did it live, and I'm not going to mention this person. And it was really fun because, when it's live, you own it. People always show up and go, wait, it's live? And it was 28 minutes of live radio, so it was terrific.
And 28 minutes is a length of time live on the radio that is both a lot of time to fill, so it's terrifying in that sense, and also it's short enough that you have to be good the whole time or you're doing a bad job.
Well, I'm going to master that other part someday. But the fun thing was people always think of being 7 or 8 minutes. No, we go straight through. We didn't do a break in those days. We went straight through. And this one person, and it was a director, and I'll give you a clue. He's a white man, so I should give him away.
Yeah, got it.
Wouldn't answer anything. Would talk about camera mounts or lighting placement. But when I tried to ask him about motivation, he goes, at one point he just goes, well, who listens to the show anyway? I just said, well, a lot fewer people than when we started. And I saw him at a dinner party like 10 years ago. Thank you. Because I just felt like the sweat under my scalp. You know what I'm talking about? Kind of, what's going to happen? And so I ran into him at a dinner party about 10 years ago. And he walks over to me and starts saying, I was on your show. In those days, I was trying to keep up a mystique. I said, well, you did it. And I walked when I realized, I don't think he said, I'm sorry. And I ran into somebody who he used to be involved with, and she said, oh, that was his way of saying he's sorry. So that was funny. I just flashed on that as you asked me. Yes, remember that those 5 seconds after, well, who listens to the show anyway? And it was like the longest 5 seconds of my life. And I thought, well, they won't cancel us after we're over, so it's fine.
I mean, my experience doing this show all these years is that at some point I was just like, oh, right, whoever it is that's on is just a guy or a lady or whatever. They just happen to have made something wonderful. I never had the experience of someone big timing me for real or someone not responding to me being a person to them by being a person to me, Some people better than others, obviously. But there are still times when I have been scared sitting across from someone.
Who scares you?
Bill Withers scared me.
See, I love Bill Withers because he immediately put his hand on my knee and just started talking to me like an uncle. And I heard that pause. And, oh, he's a stutterer. I heard it because I grew up around enough stutterers to know that hesitation and that sort of breath. But then he just sort of got past it. And because Bill Withers, I just started going on about this song he did called Harlem, which is the B-side.
Yeah.
Jim Keltner on drums, as a matter of fact. It's the B-side of Ain't No Sunshine. I said, I always thought this was the greatest song I'd ever heard. It's like a piece of theater. It's 3 acts, and each act builds up, and it finally has this incredible resolution. He goes, are you out of your mind? It was on the other side of Ain't No Sunshine. Of course, the label wanted that to be the first single. When I said they were wrong, oh, okay. But I loved him. But what about him scared you?
Well, he's big. A big guy.
He is a big guy.
So he was at least as big as me. And it's rare for me to have somebody in the studio who's as big as me. That's just real talk, Elvis. I'm bigger than most people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's a surprise when somebody is as big as me. But that wasn't why. At the time when I talked to him, he had not done a press interview in 20 years. He had done one morning radio show because a friend of his was the host like 5 years previously in like the late 90s or, 2002 or something like that. But he had not done press since he quit the business.
And he didn't do press. He didn't like to do press. And I was the off sort of mic person for an interview that was going to go on. Columbia was releasing a bunch of his stuff probably 20 years ago. And so he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to be there. His daughter was with him, who was kind of his handler. Everybody's really kind of nervous and treating him gingerly. I just thought, I'll talk to him like a fan. Because I've always found, I bet you do too, whenever you know what you're talking about, that immediately kind of relieves a lot of the tension because people come with their pre-programmed responses. Well, thank you, Jesse. They know when to say your name exactly in the sentence.
I haven't found that, Elvis. That's because, unlike you, I do not know what I'm talking about.
Forgive me for being presumptuous. That's saying I know what I was talking about. But if you act like you know what you're talking about,
right?
Well, also, if you act like you actually have some knowledge of what they've done, it's immediately. And I bet you find this too. Whenever you've read the books, they always kind of go,
"Yeah, yeah." Well, I mean. I just did an interview on the NPR station in Monterey because we have a live show coming up in Santa Cruz. And this guy asked me what was like a turning point for me. And I talked about that first time that I talked to Bill Withers. And the reason was that here's this guy, we later learned, it was not public at the time, but later learned he was bipolar, and a guy who had been through real heavy duty poverty in the Jim Crow South in West Virginia. In a coal town where there was no hope of getting out.
And then he talks about his life before he got his recording contract, when there was just darkness. There was no end to the tunnel.
Right. And I'm sitting in front of him and I'm this, 29-year-old white kid, right? And he wasn't sure for 20 minutes, I would say. There was 20 minutes of him pushing at me and seeing what would happen. And I think that I stayed with it because I certainly knew what I saw. I love Bill Withers, have the records, listen to them all the time, etc. Right? But like hanging in there while he poked at me and checked. And then it was uncle time. Then I was like, this is the person I want to be my uncle for the rest of my life. But it took 20 minutes of checking.
Well, one of my favorite things you did, and I'm glad I got a chance to talk to you about this, was your Betty Davis interview. Because I came close to getting her on, and we had this conversation. She said, I can't go on with you. Because I was just asking very specific stuff about Jimi Hendrix and about dressing Miles.
This is the singer Betty Davis, for folks who don't know.
Yeah, who was married to Miles Davis and who was a revolutionary. And she said, no, I can't. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I can't go on with you. Which broke my heart.
I booked Betty Davis, and we're out of time, but I booked Betty Davis because there was someone at her record label who liked me. They were re-releasing her records, which had been out of print forever.
Yeah.
And somebody there had heard, maybe I had interviewed somebody on The Sound of Young America or something, but I wrote to them and asked, and they said, we got permission for her to do one interview, so we'll let you have it. And it was one interview from her. They got permission from her. She was.
We should say she did 3 incredible records in the early 70s, walked away from performing and never performed again. There's a really incredible documentary with her former band members trying to connect with her. At the end of it, she's on the phone with them for about 3 minutes, and that's it. So when we say somebody who walked away from the business, I mean, that's
even more so than Bill Withers. And the terms of the deal were she would call Light in the Attic. I think it was Light in the Attic. They would call me and 3-way call us together because she didn't want anyone to have her phone number. And I, thank goodness, I had read the This American Life comic book about how to make radio, because somebody in there at some point just casually mentions, if you shut up for long enough, the other person will talk. And it was excruciating, Elvis. I mean, she couldn't have been more polite or considerate. It wasn't that she was being a jerk. But I would ask her a question. She would answer with 4 or 5 words. And then I realized, oh, I just have to sit here and wait for her to add another sentence. And it would be like, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. And then she would say 6 more words. And then 1 second, 2. And if you took the interview if you took the waveforms of the interview that ran on my show, and you took the waveforms of the silence that I took out, I think there would be more silence than sound.
I know what you're talking about, because I just found myself thinking this sort of thing. Well, now I know why people sometimes have questions prepared. I know, because it's not a conversation if you have a list of questions, and anybody can do it with a list of questions. I was just remember that phone call, just thinking.
Yeah. Well, Elvis, thank you for coming. It's always so good to see you. You always smell wonderful. What do you smell like today? Tell me what you smell like today. The best smelling man in public radio.
That would be Bond number 9.
Bond number 9. There you go. Elvis Mitchell, host of The Treatment. It's a lot like this show, but better. It's always nice to see you.
Stop. It's great to see you too. And it's been way too long.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to go have a social event sometime soon.
And you know where to find me.
Okay. Great. Well, no, I don't, because you only respond to every 3rd email.
Every 20 years, yes. If they were like less space between them, I respond faster.
Elvis Mitchell, my next guest on the program, are a stand-up comedy duo. Thank you, Elvis.
Thank you.
They're the co-hosts of Dumb People Town. They are going to be working on the new Kevin Hart and Kenan Thompson sports show called Good Sports, which is premiering in mid-November. One of them, Randy, joining me here in the studio. One of them, Jason, joining me from a girls' soccer tournament.
No, I'm out. I'm fine. I'm in my kitchen.
Country.
I sound okay, I hope.
You sound great. Can I just say Elvis has left the building? I thought you were going to say it, or I was going to say it. Someone needed to say it. Jay, I'm so sad you're not here, because the green room or just the hangout area. First of all, there's pizza that I should not be eating. There is flavored seltzer. Every single person that I love is out there right now, and which is really a testament to you. But
Terry Gross is ripping bong hits. It's unbelievable.
Come on. It was me and Paul Scheer and Rob Huebel talking about one battle after another with Elvis Mitchell. Which I was,
my God,
do you understand
that should
what
be a show.
Okay, that would be like talking to Quentin Tarantino about feet.
Can I just say, I'm glad that I booked you two guys, because with a lot of the other guests on the show, I have to ask questions.
No, there's nothing. Watch out now. There's nothing.
Watch out now.
Watch us. I'm just saying this whole experience is amazing, and I can't believe that. I can't believe we're raising money for Kamala to run again next time with this.
I
is
know,
that happening?
That's
not what
this is for. Okay.
I was given weird information.
It's not what we're doing here.
Okay, but we're getting Bernie Sanders.
Okay, hopefully I'll get in a question here.
Yes.
I have never known anyone who is more enthusiastic about filling air with every joke that they've ever thought of than the two of you.
I mean,
I sometimes think maybe Dana Gould remembers more jokes that he's thought of in the past. He always seems to have every joke he's ever thought of at hand. But in terms of that plus new jokes, I think the two of you now there's two of you. It's no fair.
It's not fair, but
do you ever run out of steam at different times?
Yes.
And alienate each other?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we're normal, but I would say we love this. We live for this. Like, we love making jokes and being funny with each other. Again, like Jay, I'm sorry you weren't here, but like that area hanging out there was just joke in the most fun, loving, sweet, funny way. It's like our love language with all of our friends. Like, how do we, like our buddy Brad Meltzer, author, fantastic author, got an action figure of himself sent to him, and he sent a picture to a text chain of me and Jason and 2 other friends. And Jay it's your joke, so.
I said, it's so cool that you got an inaction figure, because he's not the most active guy.
He's not the most active guy. But it was like, we can't stop. Like, that's not for anybody. That's not for air. That's just with our friends in that way. And it just is, I love it. I mean, I've raised 2 kids that are funny. And so, like, it's how we love each other is by making jokes. It's like when my wife and I are fighting, like if somebody tells a joke, we can get us out of it. It's just like this cheat code to life. So when we're with our friends, it's like the most fun in the world. I love it.
When your families are together, which is to say, Randy, when your family is with Jason's family, when the families are together in that way, do your spouses have to tell you to can it?
No, I think they like it. And, we just come up with, also when people in my family make us laugh, I'm always at times beautifully surprised by it. My oldest daughter, no. My youngest daughter, if she says something that makes me laugh, it is the greatest thing because I'm not seeing it coming, because that's not what she trades in. And so when it comes, it's so great. Jay's son is hilarious in a way that is like 16-year-old boy living in LA on the cutting edge of life and just not media, but like social, kind of pop culture and whatever it is. He's
bussing.
He's straight bussing. He's very funny. I mean, he'll come up with like 6-7 jokes per day.
Oh, come on.
All right, I'm not doing that. But no. It is really funny. My kids are super funny, and they know how to get at me. In my family, it's very roasty. Like, there was like one time where we were on a family vacation, and my daughter was like, "Let's roast each other," and I was like, "Well, this will end poorly."
It's not gonna.
And it did. It was like 2 funny jokes for everyone, and then it just got super mean.
Can I tell you that the first time my now wife came over to my father's house when we were teenagers, we were maybe 17, 18, for dinner. She left, and I saw her the next day, and she was really sad. And I said to her, "Why are you so sad? What's wrong, Teresa?" And she said, "I'm worried that your family don't like each other."
You're like, no, this is
how we express our
yell in loving yelling at each other.
What you see as our weakness is our strength. Like, that's the help of the family.
I just remember during the pandemic, we took an RV for some stupid reason around like Colorado and Utah to national parks and all that other stuff. And the RV, like the air conditioning could only go like 10 degrees lower than what it was, and it was 108 outside. So it's 98. We're in an RV. We're like near Arches National Park, and we're just sitting inside the RV sweating. And it had been like a year and a half in the pandemic. And my oldest daughter said, "So let me get this straight. We have been in the house with each other for a year and a half, and you guys thought it'd be a good idea to get into a smaller space for 2 weeks." And I was like, "I love you." And then we all sweated it out.
Well, Randy and Jason, it's always a joy to see you guys.
I love you, dude.
Always grateful.
Thank you, by the way, for all the times you've come on and help us with our podcast.
It's so fun.
You're
one of the most
wonderful
fun things in my life.
Wonderful collaborator. You get the joke. You get every time you get. This is the game we are playing here. I'm going to be an old timey guy giving fantasy updates on farmers market goods. Fantasy farmers market goods.
I want to give this compliment to Bullseye because it's his 25th anniversary. Part of your ability to play and play with people is what has made this show so fun and what has brought out such great interviews out of so many people. So here's to 25 more. Keep doing it.
Here's to Jason popping his peas more too. Jesus Christ, Jay.
It's a professional. He's a professional podcaster.
That's right. Thank you so much,
Randy. Jason, it's always great to see you.
Love
Thank
you, buddy.
so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You guys are tops. Our next guest on the program is a stand-up comic. She has a special out on Dropout called 4 Pills in April. It came out in April. It's great. She just played the Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago, Illinois. She is fresh from the plane.
I am. Yeah. Hi.
And her hair looks incredible.
Oh my God. Thank you.
As always, Cameron Esposito. Hi, Cam. How are you?
Hi, Jesse. Oh my God. You know what I am? I'm 7 months pregnant. Do you know this?
Congratulations. So I only heard about this 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, it was, it's like one of those things, you keep it like close to the vest for a while and then you're like really showing, and it's kind of the moment to talk about it.
You're wearing one of these pregnancy stomach garments.
Yeah, well, these are like yoga shorts. Here, can you see? Because there's like pregnancy yoga shorts, because all pregnancy pants that have these things attached, I find that they make me feel like my stomach was actually being pulled off my body in a downward direction, and it was not as sweet as you would want it to be. Plus, I'm doing my own thing in terms of
was this always
gender stuff.
Was this always your plan? Did you always intend to bear a child at some point in your life?
No. I was hoping to trick a woman into doing it for me. You know what I mean? Or any human, just any human that I might be able to either afford to pay or that might marry me. And want to have a kid with me. But no, it's weirdly, Jesse, I have a body that is like good for this. It's so the luck of the draw. There's no like merit or prep that's required. I just went in and started having the appointments, and I kept waiting for someone to stop me and be like, you don't have the right jackets for this. You know what I mean? Or like gender identity. But that's not what happened. I kept going to these appointments and they were like, yeah, you're good to go. Especially with my age. I'm 43. I thought I didn't think this would be what happened.
I mean, that's 19 in show business childbearing.
It is. It also, I didn't know this, but your uterus doesn't change till you're I think it's 52. So it's really just do you have an egg reserve? And if you do, because you either do at the moment or had frozen your eggs or embryos or something. I got into the weeds immediately. This is what your listeners are looking for, right?
The last time I saw you perform, it was a show about your life careening out of control. So was writing your life after it careened out of control part of what led you to enter a new phase?
Yes, of course. I mean, look at you. You've been doing this a long time. You know how people are. Yeah, I had this special 4 pills that was about my experience being diagnosed with bipolar disorder at 40. And what I found was that because I've always been chasing these short-term dreams and had the energy to do so, that's part of having bipolar disorder, is tons of ideas and then the energy to do so, right? Mania produces in the brain the same chemicals as cocaine. So you can really maybe understand that with that, what I'm talking about. But medicated and stabilized, I could think for the first time about long-term goals. It's just that just eluded me. I didn't understand how people made long-term plans. Does that make sense?
It does. And I mean, I think also to some extent, you're running into show business. I've never knew you to be anything but headlong running into show business things.
Of course.
You're also running away from, being closeted as a teen.
Yeah.
That's a lot of running, and it's hard to stop when both of those things are happening at the same time and you're bipolar.
Well, I mean, I would say that it's actually impossible to stop, right? Because it's not like a moral good or even a choice that is made. When I first was diagnosed, what they said is the experience of having bipolar disorder is that you go through life as if driven by a motor. And this is what you're talking about, and we've known each other for a long time. This can be super positive. Like if you're in a creative field, if you're a business person, if you are in politics, being able to treat life like you've gotten on a roller coaster and are just strapped in can be really helpful.
And it's very thrilling.
It's very thrilling. And also, like, you get a lot done. Like, if you're moving way faster than everybody else, you get a lot done. But yeah, I think that the absence or like the pain of it can just be lack of choices, which I feel like I have now.
Wow.
Is that us?
That's us.
Wow, we got into so much. Classic us.
I mean, Randy and Jason just came in here and just talked. They just sat down and just made jokes at each other for 5 straight minutes.
I've known them a long time too. They're amazing.
Had to change pace and do something else.
Jesse, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Thank
you.
It's great to see you. Cameron
It's great to see
Esposito, 4 Pills is her brand new special. And congratulations on this baby. I'm excited about this.
Thank you.
Our next guest on the program was a founding member of the comedy troupe Human Giant. He's been on The Office, The League, Parks and Recreation. He's on the podcast Dark Web with Paul Scheer, Mr. Rob Huebel. Hello, Robert. How are you, sir?
Jesse, pleasure to be here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Am I supposed to say that? Do you say
I'm
that?
grateful to hear it. I'm grateful to anyone who respects me and my work.
Jesse, everybody respects you. I mean, you have I don't want to spoil who's out there in the lobby, but it's like a who's who of the biz.
Barack Obama's out there. We should mention Barack
Sully
Obama's.
Sullenberger. Balloon Boy. You know, all those kids that were trapped in that cave. And
Louis Couture is out there.
There's so many big names.
Yeah.
I'm excited. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I really enjoy your show, Dark Web, which you do with the great Paul Scheer.
Thank you.
Is perfect for ingestion on social media.
Yeah.
Because it is basically just the two of you showing awful internet things to each other and making each other react to them.
And it was purely what we did during COVID to kind of get through COVID. We started doing that just for fun. I mean, we still do it just for fun. We don't make any money, but like, it was just like, oh, this is so weird. Did you see this thing? You know, it's just, I hope you saw this. I assume you saw this, right? It's just catching each other up on the weirdest clips that we can find.
Why aren't you making any money?
I don't know how to make money, really. How do you, and also, why do I need money?
That's a good point.
You know, why do I need that?
That's a good point. Might as well just barter.
I live off the grid, bro. I leave that to Paul. Paul will figure out how to make money off of it, you know.
What's the most exciting thing that Paul has showed you on the show lately?
Well, there's a lot of, I am always joyful to watch people get hurt doing dumb things, you know.
Yes.
But every now and then it'll take a kind of a wrong turn. Like, I can't remember if I had this or Paul had this, but it was a bunch of old people and they were on like they were all balancing on a log. And suddenly too many old people were on one end of the log and weren't balancing the log properly. And so the log, you know, seesawed up and all of the old people went flying off onto the floor. And, you know, really, it looked like they got hurt. And you feel bad laughing at it, but
I know, I feel great.
Old people do the craziest things, you know? Which, by the way, we should make that show. Old people do the craziest things.
You just sold yourself a show on Fox in the year 2000.
A hit show.
1999, right around celebrity boxing.
Oh, I can't wait. On the White House lawn.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait for all that.
You've also been touring doing improv lately.
Yeah, we've been going on the road, myself and Paul and Edie Patterson from Righteous Gemstones and Rob Riggle and Carl Tart and a bunch of great people. And it's just super fun to hit the road and do live improv comedy for people. I feel like right now is a great time for live stuff. And I feel like there's a real hunger for people to get some relief from the nightmare that we're all living through. So in a weird way, it's been very medicinal almost to go out and for us to hang out with each other and you know, because we're all old friends, and to do comedy together, but just to see a crowd that's really fired up for comedy and like really hungry for comedy is super fun right now.
The experience of doing improv can be kind of medicinal as well. I mean, nobody's doing it for money. I mean, I think even in the like theaters that you guys are playing, because you're bringing 42 people to perform, I'm sure you're not taking home a lot of dough.
Yeah.
But there's something about that feeling of connection with the other people on stage.
For sure. I mean, it sounds really, I'm always nervous to discuss improv because it sounds so dorky, but I've been doing it for a long time, and it is sometimes the only thing I look forward to in the week. You know, like I'll have a crazy week coming up, and I'd be like, oh, if I can just make it to Thursday night. You know, I know we have this show at Largo, and it's going to be, I get to see everybody. And there's just something, you know, purely playful and magical and joyful about horsing around with your friends, creating a purely imaginary situation, but everybody going along with it and painting that picture together is just, magical sometimes.
To me, there is, of course, the like intoxicating feeling of getting a laugh from an audience. That is a wonderful feeling no matter how you cut it.
Yeah.
But in improv particularly, part of the magic of it is the feeling of making your friends look good.
Yeah.
Like it's great if you're on stage by yourself and you say a joke and the audience laughs. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that down. But it's so cool to feel like you helped your buddy get over.
For sure. That's a huge part of it is that we all are going to live and die together on this stage right now. And it's either going to be funny and great, and I'm going to make you look good and you're going to make me look good, or it's going to be the nightmare, which is just like, you know, where it just kind of hangs there and it doesn't go well. And I mean, I'm lucky to perform with people that I trust and love, and I always know that something great will come out of it. But yeah, for years, when I first started out, you know, there were so many times where you get off stage, you just felt like you'd had been punched in the mouth, you know. but yeah, hopefully we're beyond that now.
Well, Rob, it's always so nice to see you, and thank you for taking the time to come here and hang out, and thanks for all your support for so many years.
Thanks for having me. Congratulations. I can't wait for you to talk to Sully Sullenberger. He is such an interesting guy. He put that plane down in the river.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Has he been drinking?
He's been drinking. I think he's just drunk all the time.
Okay.
I hope he doesn't sue me for saying that.
No, it's fine. He's litigious, but...
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Rob. Rob Huebel, our next guest, as we celebrate 25 years of Bullseye with 25 interviews, is a good friend of Rob's, his counterpart on Dark Web. He is one of the hosts of How Did This Get Made? He's one of the stars of Dinosaur, the improv show that he tours the nation with Rob and Edie Patterson. He is one of the hosts of Unspooled with Amy Nicholson. Paul Scheer. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Jesse.
Yes.
Thrilled to be here. You and I are due for a basketball game. We keep on talking about getting to see a basketball game, and WNBA season obviously over.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is going to be our time.
This is going to be our time.
This is our year.
The Basket Buddies?
I feel like it's going to happen. By the way, I was actually going to text you today because I was going to offer you a ticket when I'm not in town, but because I thought you might want to go. You might want to bring your kid, have some fun.
My daughter loves basketball.
Yeah.
I also love basketball.
Me
Basketball's
too.
a great sport.
I love it.
Love the way they dribble up and down the court.
It's so impressive.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I will tell you.
Okay.
I have a friend. He has courtside seats. I've never sat courtside in my life. He said to me, Would you like my seats?
Like folding chairs.
This was even better. It was behind a scorer's table, so the team kept their mints and their all their accoutrement out there. I'm watching people pop mints and gum, and they're right in front. I have a shot of like James Harden's ass because he just sat in front of me, and I couldn't see anything. And
it's a powerful machine.
It was amazing. It was impressive. He also before the game started stretched on that same table and fully had his leg up and reaching down. It was impressive to watch somebody stretch as good as him. But I sat on that court, and when I tell you, I have a different respect for basketball after that. It was like, oh, this is a game. Like, you're up, you're removed. It's impressive. It's obviously great. You watch it on TV, it's great. But when you're watching how fast that ball is going, these guys, I know it sounds so stupid, but being that close blew my mind. It ups the skill level.
I went to a game with my daughter. It was her birthday present. She's like, I want to go to an NBA game for my birthday. We had been to WNBA games. We had been to a college game. So I want to go to an NBA game. And the San Antonio Spurs were a terrible team.
Yeah.
They were in town playing against the Clippers. I said, I'm going to buy it was midweek. I'm going to buy the most expensive abandoned tickets I can find on the secondhand tickets website, So we're way down there. We have, all you can eat seats or whatever.
The best.
Incredible seats. And the most incredible part of that experience was just seeing Victor Wembanyama do the things he does every day.
I've seen pictures of him. I've seen him on the TV. But when I sat in an auditorium where he was, it's like seeing like a mythological creature. It's like, I've never seen any human that looks like this and can do what he is doing.
Elegantly,
beautifully. It's really, this goes to my theory, and maybe your audience will support me in this. I believe that every sport needs to have regular people who are pretty good do it before you watch it, and especially at the Olympics. I love the Olympics, but I'm not impressed because I don't understand how hard it is. Just have a person who's pretty good at diving do a dive and then put the Olympic athlete after them. Because I need to have a baseline to know where I'm going.
My daughter is obsessed with a series of YouTube videos where former NBA player Brian Scalabrine, who was a sort of like eighth guy on a lot of basketball
White
teams.
Mamba, right? That was his name. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, an NBA basketball player, and not quite a marginal one, but like one step up from a marginal one.
But he was famous for being ridiculed relentlessly. Like that was like a part of his thing was like, this guy, and it's terrible. He's also in the 99th percentile of players.
And on these videos, he, as a 40-year-old man or however old he is now, plays against like guys who just got out of college and played Division I basketball and are the superstars of their men's league. And some of them are big, all of them are much younger than he is. Right. And he just takes them apart. And you realize, the worst player in the NBA 3 or 4 years after his playing career is still dramatically better than anyone I've ever met in real life who wasn't an NBA player.
It's so funny because you can yell at them and think, they're done, they're over. It's like, but they are still the best of the best. There is I was like working with Shaq. I was directing a commercial with Shaquille O'Neal, who is a
former basketball player,
one of a legend of the game, you might even say. Uh-huh. And there was a younger kid who was like a hot prospect, might be going number 1 next year. And this kid was so cocky about like, I can dunk on you. And Shaq, many years out of
a 57-year-old man or whatever,
and I would argue not in the best, not in the best shape, to get on the court, it was like, no, you can't. you cannot, I guarantee you could not get around me. Like, you'd have to get around me to dunk on me, and you will never get around me. And I kind of believed him in the sense that, like, oh yeah, you've done it. You've done the time and you know enough. It may not be like a game to 21, but you could probably shut down this 18-year-old kid pretty easily. And it's like, and that's impressive to me. I was like, and again, I do the thing where whenever I see anyone taller than me, I feel like a child immediately. And and I'm like, oh, Dad's going to beat this guy up. Dad's going to do
it. Well, that's just in time. That's our time, Paul Scheer.
Well, thank you for having me. You're the best. I will see you soon.
You're the best, friend. Thank you so much for all your years of support and kindness. Paul Scheer, a legend of the game of both basketball and comedy. Oh, wow. Talk about legends of the game. Our next guest on this live stream is an old friend of MaximumFun.org, an old friend of Bullseye and the Sound of Young America. He was Buster on Arrested Development, Gary on Veep. He's the voice of Forky. He was just in the beautiful fantasy comedy film Sketch. Joining us electronically via the internet is Tony Hale. Tony Hale,
it is.
How are you?
I'm good. Such an honor to celebrate with you.
It's such an honor to have you.
25. Yeah, I'm sure you've talked about that. That's Y2K.
I know. I haven't thought about it in terms of Y2K.
You started this at Y2K. You started this in the year that everybody thought technology was going to shut down because we were changing to the 2000s.
And they all ran out to buy Gene Code jeans.
Yeah. Did they?
Yeah, I think everyone was wearing Gene Code jeans. JNCO, Gene Code.
This is quite an honor, though, to be here and celebrate with you. Thank you for having me.
I'm very grateful to have you. Where are you joining me from?
Alabama.
So tell me about, is it just that after you win a certain number of Emmys, you can move to Alabama and still work in show business?
Oh, you haven't seen that trend? That everybody does that? When my daughter graduated high school about a year ago, because your daughter's how old now?
My oldest is 14.
Oh, wow. So mine graduated a year ago, and she came to school in the East Coast, and we, for various reasons, we needed to be closer to family. And so my wife's family, we're in Birmingham, so my wife's family is about an hour from here, and then my family is about 2 hours to Georgia. So.
It's a beautiful place. It's also a very different life than Los Angeles.
Yeah. But it is we've been back and that's another thing. We've been back and forth for so many years, West Coast to East Coast to see family. We just got kind of tired of it. But Birmingham is a great city, great food scene, good art scene. I don't know, it's just we really like it. I mean, we're still in the transition phase of I have moments where I'm like, huh? What am I doing? But as a whole, I really, really like it.
What are the things that make you feel, what am I doing about it? What are the things where you get anxious?
You know, I think, what are the things I get anxious? Oh, here's my list.
Remember, we only have 5 minutes total.
Exactly. Waking up. I mean, I think I took for granted that I lived in Los Angeles for 22 years, and you're kind of surrounded by people that understand what you do. You know, they're kind of used to the freelance lifestyle. You're used to, I don't know when the next gig's going to come. I mean, I've been gig to gig for 30 years. And you just kind of like, you'll go to coffees, you'll see artists. We always made jokes about, everybody's writing a script at a coffee shop, da-da-da-da. But I got used to that environment. Then I was taken out of it. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate just being able to have those conversations and everybody was kind of used to those conversations,
That's interesting. I remember that one of the things that you were looking for when you first came to Los Angeles was to find like a particular kind of faith community. And that was like, these memories are vague and I did not prepare for this interview.
No.
But
sure. That's the best kind.
There's too many. 25 is too many interviews to prepare for. But my memory is that like you wanted to find a way to be in a Christian community that was also a creative community. And that can be, there are advantages and disadvantages to trying to do that in Los Angeles. Is that a different experience in Alabama?
You know, it was in LA. I mean, I think when it came to my faith, I didn't really, I mean, I found people, I think maybe that was another thing, like with the people that were, their faith was important, but they were artists, you know, we hung out and stuff. But when people found out that my faith was important to me and they had a reaction to it, it never bugged me, because there are so many different filters that people are looking at faith through. I mean, the church has made endless amounts of mistakes in the name of God. There's been so much trauma, all that stuff. So they're looking at those filters. So I always liked that conversation if they wanted to talk about it, you know? Whereas down here, it's a little more, I would say, cultural to be in a faith community. It's not such an odd thing. But with that, you know, sometimes, and I'm not saying I'm like the most authentic, but sometimes wherever you go, you have to find those authentic conversations, like the authentic experiences, rather than just whether it be cultural or you grew up with it or something like that, if that makes sense. And from my own personal experience, it took me, I went through some really, really hard times, and I had to go through a time where I was like, okay, why do I believe what I believe? And so I really dug into like C.S. Lewis, you know, and Henry Nouwen, and, you know, just really had to look through all that stuff to really figure out, like, is this what for me, you know? Anyways, I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. What's an example of one of those conversations that you've had since you moved? A conversation where you found that authenticity?
I would say just that. I would say honesty. You know, I mean, I've had a lot of conversations since being here, like I did in LA, but it's that we're honest about our humanity. I think many times the faith community wants to put a pretty bow on life, kind of just like tie it up with a nice little bow and be like, this is how it's done. And life is so messy. It is so messy, and we are all such works in progress. And when somebody is honest about that human experience and how for them, like I can only speak for myself, with that human experience and that tough stuff, I had to lean on a being who saw a bigger picture. I had to lean on a being who loved me and wanted to walk with me. And so when I find someone who wants to have that honest conversation, that's really a gift.
I appreciate your vagueness in defining what that being is for people out there who might be Big Bird and be thinking of Snuffleupagus, for example.
You know, that's because I can share mine, but that's the thing though. Like in LA, there were so many different faiths, and because the fact is, I went through a season in my life, I'm honest, where I thought, what is God going to do? You know, how can that kind of control aspect? And it's like, I have no control. We have no control to change people's minds. So why don't we just have a dialogue about what each of our experiences are, you know?
I mean, one of the reasons that the higher power in a 12-step program is a higher power is because it's not necessarily about the theology of Christ and God specifically. It's about finding within yourself something that you can count on that, you know, is not just you, you know, something that is bigger than you. It's higher,
totally.
You know,
it is higher. I mean, my personally is Christ. My faith is being a Christian, but yeah, I mean, I've been in recovery programs, and I've talked to people, and their higher power is something totally different, you know, and I love those conversations.
Well, Tony, we're out of time, but I'm always grateful to get to see you. I'm always grateful to get to talk to you. I hope that you'll be in touch when you're back in Los Angeles.
Definitely.
Continuing to rule show business.
I'm so proud of you, man. This is so fantastic.
Isn't that weird? I felt that way about you when you became a major entertainment celebrity. So,
am I?
I'm glad.
Okay.
Yeah, you're one of the top entertainment celebrities whose email address I have.
Yes. All right,
Tony.
You're the
thank
best.
you for taking the time, Tony Hale. What a legend.
You as well.
Our next guest on the program is absolutely one of my favorite creative people on earth. A legendary cartoonist and writer, a legendary television designer, animation designer. What is your job called on television shows?
I design televisions.
You design television. Well, she works for the RCA Corporation, of course.
I'm an engineer.
Lisa Hanawalt. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, Jesse. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. And congratulations on the brand new show, Long Story Short, on
Thank
Netflix. Were you afraid, after working for so many years on BoJack Horseman, on which you were the television designer, you were the co-creator in charge of the visual portion of the show, essentially.
That's right.
Were you afraid to go back to that? Like you had your
scared? No.
Like you had your own show, Tuca and Birdie, right? But like, were you afraid after this long success to be like, and now we're going to start a new thing?
No, not at all. It felt like, working with the same people I've been working with for a long time. Like we're all friendly and it's doing something I know how to do. So I was pretty sure I wasn't going to like mess it up real bad.
What was different this time?
Well, we wanted it to look different from BoJack. And when Raphael was describing the show to me, I just immediately pictured like what the characters should look like. And they're all humans, which is really weird. There's like no animal people.
I mean, one of your top moves would be to like put legs and boobs on an animal.
Yeah, that's my classic move is just slap some boobs on there. Or like, put them on like a plant or like a table or whatever.
Oh, yeah, those plants are great. Those boob plants are fantastic.
Thank you. That's like where Tuca and Birdie came out of, is just like I couldn't do like booby plant people on BoJack, so I made a whole new show so that I could do booby plant people.
What was different about doing it having, made television for 10 or 12 years or whatever it was? Like, what were the things that you realized, oh, I actually know what I'm doing this time?
I knew to make the designs a little simpler. That was a big thing, is to not just like slap crazy patterns on all the like sleeves and pant legs. That's just difficult to animate. It makes everyone's life a hell.
What's an example? Tell me about a character that you designed for the new show.
What's a character? I really like Scheer Schwooper. She's the sister character, and she's played by Abby Jacobson. And I just really like her because she's a huge brat and kind of reminds me of myself.
Are you a huge brat?
I can be.
Really?
Yeah.
About what are
Not
you?
Here. Here I'm going to be a sweetie pie, but like, she just gets like upset about things easily, and she's kind of all up in her own head, and I don't know, I just relate to her.
How does that translate into the aesthetic part of it, the visual part of it?
How does it? She's kind of messy. And she's always changing her style. I really like designing her. The show jumps back and forth in time a lot. Like every episode's a different time period. And so we see the characters like grow up and then they're young again. And I really like designing her like as a teenager in high school because she's like around my same age. And so I'm just like, what was I wearing? What was I looking at in the Delia's catalog?
Oh, I thought you were claiming to be high school aged right now.
Well,
I misunderstood
in some
you.
ways, yes.
What's your current horse situation?
I have a horse.
What kind of horse do you have?
She's a Norwegian fjord. Thanks for asking.
That's a geographical feature, but continue.
She's a really stocky, thick pony lady.
Oh.
With like kind of a stick-up-y mane.
How tall?
She is 13 hands, which I don't know how to explain that in non-horsey terms.
How big compared to, say, a lady or a guy?
Well, I'm a lady, and she's definitely like seems the right size for me. Like kind of a little, like a curvy little lady. We're kind of the similar. But when I see like a real horse, like a thoroughbred or something, I point and I go, Junie, that's a real horse. You're a stuffed animal. She looks like a stuffed animal compared to them.
Do you ever ride a big giant horse?
Sometimes, and it feels really weird. It feels like I'm on an elephant.
The only time I have ever been on a horse was as a child, maybe as a 13-year-old, 12-year-old, something like that. I got on a horse at a farm that belonged to a friend of my mother's. And it was like a giant horse.
Yeah, was it scary?
It wasn't just like a standard full-size horse, non-pony horse. It was like a
extra horse.
It was like a Clydesdale or something.
Oh my God.
It was like a draft horse. He was like a huge horse.
Did you need like a ladder to get on it? How did you get on it?
I think someone threw me up into the air sort of deal.
Wow.
That's my memory. And then the main thing I remember is that it made me nauseous.
Really?
It was such a calm horse, but it was...
The movement made you kind of like seasick?
And the terror.
Yeah, the terror. That'll
combined.
do it. Yeah. Did you get like, sorry, I'm just going to ask if you had like an IBS attack on the horse. Why would I ask that?
Because you're Lisa Hanawalt.
This is where my mind went.
Yeah.
That's my worst fear, is to like throw up or poop on my horse. It's never happened. It's probably not going to. I say that now.
There's no way to know for sure.
You never know.
Yeah, you'll find out one day.
Oh, she'd be so offended.
Oh, what is the personality of your horse like?
Very cheerful, very funny. She's like amusing. Like she'll do funny things on purpose.
Like what's an example?
Like when I introduce her to new people, she does this thing where she like flaps her upper lip up and like acts like you stink. Like she like does like a horsey grin. I don't know. It's hard to explain. And she bites a lot, like playfully, and she's just like a little imp.
How often do you see her?
A few times a week, usually when I'm in town. Yeah.
Do you miss her when you don't?
Yeah.
Is part of it, I don't know how to put this specifically, but
why do I do that?
is central to this relationship, said the guy who hasn't been on a horse since he was 12, that you ride around on the animal?
That's part of it. That's a big fun part of it. But sometimes I don't ride. Sometimes I just go and like hang out with her and I brush her and we just kind of hang out.
But it's like such a different, like, I'll give you an example. I had a small dog. She passed away. Rest in peace to Coco. I got a new dog, and my dog is like a medium to large dog.
Mm.
He's half golden retriever. He's about that size. And I miss having my dog on my lap.
Oh, yeah.
But I've learned about spooning a dog, like holding on to a dog.
It's nice when an animal's big.
Yeah, when it's like a big log of animal.
Yeah, she's like Totoro. Like when like you can just like lie on top of her and feel her like animal furry body, and it's nice. It's very comforting.
Lisa, it's always so nice to see you, and thank you for stopping by.
My pleasure. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you. The great Lisa Hanawalt, one of the best in the business. Or watch her brand new show on Netflix. Oh, look at this. We got to fly in a chair for these next guests. My next guests are podcasting pioneers, legends in the field of podcasting. Look at this. We're going to grab a chair. We got another microphone. I should have been more prepared to fill this time. They're legends in the field of podcasting. Jimmy, of course, the legend in the field of stand-up comedy as well. Legends in the field of Midwestern radio guesting, I would say.
Sure.
Bob and Tom legend. Bob and Tom legend. Legendary Chicago White Sox fan.
Watch your step there, Matt.
Yep. Matt Belknap and Jimmy Pardo. Hi, Matt and Jimmy. How are you?
Hello. Hi. I've only got 5 minutes.
Great.
I don't have a lot of time, so you're going to have to get to ask him his questions and then really focus it on me.
Okay, great.
I don't know why we had to share. We're not the Sklar Brothers. Why? We're not a team.
You are a team.
No, but we're not really.
Wait, what? You guys are, first of all, you're best friends.
I don't know if that's I don't know if Matt thinks that.
First of all, you're best friends.
He's got soccer friends.
That's true.
He hangs out with his soccer buddies. We used to talk every day. This is true. We used to talk every day, and we'd have lunch about once a week. We haven't talked every day. We haven't talked on the phone.
We talk 5 hours a week.
Use the microphone.
I am.
They haven't turned on. Okay, now Matt is allowed to respond to these
Finally, it's my turn. And we don't need anymore because you got your new soccer friends. You're all about these soccer friends.
Well, you know how it is. When your children are a certain age, now you're at a different phase of life now, Jimmy. Your child has gone off to college, and now you're a lonely, sad man. When I get to your point, then
you still look great.
Thank you very much.
But we will probably start having lunch again when my kids have gone off to college. It's going to be about 6 years.
I'm liking this energy. I'm liking this energy of having a lot of free time.
Yeah.
When the two of you were going out to lunch once a week, were you going to one of Jimmy's special restaurants?
What do you mean by special restaurant?
I know that you have particular restaurants you like to attend and others that you don't.
Am I? I'll go wherever unless it doesn't have what I like. I can usually find something on the menu.
We did a lot of Paquito Mas because our old studio was right across the street from, I think, the best Paquito Mas. Like it stands above the other ones for some reason.
I'm going to be frank. I don't know what a Paquito Mas is.
How is that possible? You've lived in LA for 20 years.
You order at the counter, but it's better than fast food, Mexican food. And Matt's not wrong. This is on Ventura Boulevard and Stern. Ventura and Stern. Of all the Paquito Mosses in California, it's the best. I don't know if they're franchised out or what, but they do it better than anybody else. Don't be fooled by other ones.
Okay.
You're going to be disappointed.
I promise.
Do you eat Mexican food? Is that something you eat, or does it beat up your tum-tum a little bit?
No, I love Mexican food.
I thought you had a lot of restrictions as well.
I eat liberally. I cannot eat chocolate or raw onions and garlic.
How are your migraines going?
Those are migraine triggers. My migraines are fair.
All right. Can I ask you a question? Can I interrupt you and ask a question?
By all means.
Have you lost some weight? Have you?
That's a good question.
Other than the 4 ounces of beard you once had?
It was mostly beard.
Was it mostly beard?
Primarily beard weight.
Because you look younger than the last time I saw you. Doesn't he look great?
I agree with that.
You look younger.
That's very nice of you.
What did you have some work done?
Yeah, I extended
for radio.
For radio, NPR actually suggested it to me, which seemed.
Dude, you gotta look. You gotta sound younger. I think especially get your eyes done.
We're gonna send you to Ira Glass's guide.
You
look great. You look
Susan
phenomenal.
Stamberg has a great recommendation for you to go under the knife is what they call it.
Yeah, that's the
show
phrase.
business.
Oh, I get it. You don't have to tell me. I'm in the biz.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Do you think that you get enough credit for your contributions to podcasting?
Shut up. You know my opinion on this. No, we don't. No, I don't think we do. I think that people like you and Scott Aukerman and Mark Maron and in the old days, Chris Hardwick, you always give us credit, and I appreciate that. There are some newer folks that claim to have invented it. And then reporters seem to, and I talked about this with Mark Maron recently, reporters will talk to you, and you'll say, well, really, Jimmy Pardo and Matt Belknap are the two that started it. And then they decide to not put that in the story, and then because it doesn't fit their narrative of the 4 that they want to talk about. Yeah. So we get excluded a lot. And I'm not, bitter's a strong word, but I wish that we weren't.
I think, Matt, I was going through old hard drives as I was archiving past Sound of Young Americas to prepare for the 25th anniversary specials that are upcoming.
You had to rub that in our face, didn't you?
And I found on one of the hard drives my iTunes folders from 20 years ago. Okay. And I found AST radio episodes.
Oh, wow, yeah.
The podcast where you interviewed comedians that essentially immediately preceded Never Not Funny.
Yeah, it was the sort of beta test that led to Never Not Funny. I remember so we met on a message board, which is a fun fact. We knew each other on the internet before we met in person, but
I'm going to Google fun fact because I'm not so sure that qualifies.
I think it's very fun.
I committed to the bit.
Yeah, he brought out the phone. Now he's just texting someone.
Yeah, well, it often goes that way. Now it's going to be, what emails did I get? What doctor's appointment can I reschedule?
I wish he was kidding.
But I remember learning about Sound of Young America from you, frankly, being obnoxious on the internet, but promoting it.
It was all I had. It was all I had. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I also remember very nicely you saying that your favorite podcast at that time was AST Radio, and because I was just a nerd who went to a lot of shows in LA, and I sort of weaseled my way into a lot of situations where I could talk to people like Jimmy and
Zach Galifianakis or whoever. Yeah,
sure. And but when I interviewed Jimmy, it was at his dining room table, and it was just so fun to sit and talk and kind of riff. It wasn't it sort of devolved into just nothing. It wasn't an interview because we'd already done like a print interview sort of.
Yeah, we sat down to talk about for Jimmy Pardo's dance party. We did a full-on interview at Jerry's Deli.
Right. So this was just more like, hey, let's just talk and have fun. And I was like, I think you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And I was trying to get him to do, something like that with his live talk show, and which he was doing at the UCB called Running Your Trap. And we tried recording that, and it didn't. I thought it was fun, but he thought, that's not a.
I didn't think it was a good audio program.
Yeah,
I felt like it was kind of like you had to be there.
Yeah,
and I felt that we could do better in a broadcast setting.
Yeah, and so then just having already experienced like how much fun it was to just talk at his dining room table. We're like, well, we just do that every week. That's easy. And we, I think I'm still having fun doing it. I don't know if you are. Sometimes you just go off into another place. And...
I said this to one of the Sklars, I believe it was Randy, not long ago, within the last
Jason
hour.
wears glasses.
That's my trick. That's my trick,
Jason
right?
G.
Jason,
I learned that trick from you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Happy to do it. But here's what happened. Randy walked up to me holding sunglasses, and I went into a panic.
No!
I was like, "Oh, wait a minute! You're ruining my scam." I told him this. We're coming up on 20 years. In April, if I'm not mistaken, and then I'm cleaning house. Then I'm gonna go the Mike Schmidt route, and I'm just gonna do my own 3-hour show at my computer at my house. And then, even though I fired Matt, email him and go, how do I upload this? And how do I edit? And what do I do behind the scenes? I don't have any experience with this. What's our bank account number? I know nothing. I know nothing about our business. I literally show up and talk. I'm grateful that he runs it. And honestly, Elliott Hochberg has taken a big role behind the scenes. He's our video producer. And then we have Garen Cockrell, our 15-year intern. And we have a great crew. And to piggyback what Matt said, we're going up on 20 years. And there's not a single day that I say, I got to go to work. I love it. I love every second of it. I really do. There's days where maybe, he's in a bad mood, I'm in a bad mood. Certainly, that maybe it's not clicking the way, but it's one show, and it still is a great show, but more importantly, it's fun. And when it stops being fun is when I'll stop, and that'll be when I'm 67 and I'm able to get Medicare, assuming the country doesn't burn.
Jimmy, I think first of all that Never Not Funny was the first comedians talking to comedians show, which is now the definitional format of people talking to each other on the internet. Yeah. For good and ill. But I also think that you, Jimmy, were always deeply committed to the idea of broadcasting.
True.
And that is not something that all comedians bring to a microphone.
Thank you for saying that, sincerely. But I honestly, God, you just made my day. I mean that sincerely. I take that part of it, having grown up idolizing Steve Dahl and Gary Meyer out of Chicago. You mentioned Bob and Tom. Those guys are terrific broadcasters. There's other, Kevin and Bean, great guy, that I glean things from. In addition to, I think it's just in me. I think it's part of, I could have gone into broadcasting instead of comedy, but, the light was calling me, Jesse. But I appreciate you saying that.
When you say the light, the sweet release of death.
Yeah, the one.
The light at the end of the tunnel.
That happens when I'm 67 and a half and I'm out. Hey, I get free health care, dead. I feel that what you just said, whenever I see clips, reels, or whatever is happening, shorts, on YouTube or whatever, and I see other people sitting around doing their quote unquote podcast, it's like, this is nothing. This is nothing. And it's, why do you have 1 million views? It's just you and your friends yanking. You know what I mean? It's nothing. There's no broadcast quality to it. They're too comfortable. I'll say that. There's also a weird comfort level on people that shouldn't have that kind of comfort because they don't have it. So it's
have a little bit of a butterfly in your stomach.
They're just too comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me that they have that at like a year in. It's very strange. And they also like that. Like, well, I'm going to be like Dane Cook on MySpace. I'm going to start a podcast, and that's going to make me famous. Good luck.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting is I always sort of thought that your sort of character of like the sort of buttoned up broadcasty guy was sort of, not consciously ironic, but it played as sort of an ironic joke because like we're literally at a dining room table with a $200 mixer. Like it's so not professional, but you are treating it like you.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, it wasn't ironic.
but to me that was part of the joke of it, or like what part of why it was funny to me is the same persona you take on when you're on stage. It's like you're treating. Like a bar in Hollywood, like you're hosting the Tonight Show, and that's a fun contrast to me. Like it's just a funny, anachronistic thing to see unfold. Like, why is this guy acting like
this matters.
like he's broadcasting to 40 million people.
Well,
like he couldn't be further from the truth.
All I heard is, well, now I've heard two things: that we don't have that big of an audience, and because you've been telling me we have 40 million listeners, and I bought into it, and B, you just reminded me that I am not hosting the Tonight Show. Those are the two things I
apologize.
learned.
That was one of the goals 19 years ago. We set out. This is going to be the stepping stone to you hosting the Tonight Show. I don't know that it's getting. We haven't gotten any closer to that.
I think Jim Fallon's doing that job. He's got that all settled there.
To be honest, the Tonight Show is coming towards you.
Right.
Like you may be static in your approach up to the Tonight Show,
you
but
think it's
the
coming to
Tonight
me?
Show's coming our direction.
They all are. I mean, Kimmel, a few months before all this other stuff happened with him, he was kind of talking. It sounded like he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do a podcast. I think people realize it's so much easier. It's so much more fun. I know that a lot of people will lose their jobs, and that's unfortunate. But like, you don't need 200 people to do what we do. You need
but you
4.
know what? But yes, I agreed with that. But like, if you go over to Conan, that's a compound.
Right.
They still treat it like it's a TV show.
Yeah.
There's all these people involved, and it's like, dudes, we did this at my table.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you need. And I'm very, and Jesse, I will say this, and you were very instrumental in when we first launched. I think it was a combination of my stand-up following, being on Bob and Tom. Certainly, I had that audience that came to it. AST message board, but you were very instrumental in spreading the word of Never Not Funny. Mm-hmm. And so I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that Matt Belknap came to me so many years ago and said, let's start a podcast. Would you like to do this? And because without people are, because I'm the face of the show and I'm the funnier of the two, certainly by, a mile.
I said that thing about Trigger the other day that was really good. Remember that joke?
Oh, about the horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good piece of business.
Go and listen to it. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
That's a teaser to a 7 out of 10.
You told me to retire on that joke.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good joke. But everybody, it's always Jimmy Pardo. But if Matt Belknap had not asked me to do it, I wouldn't. I might have eventually done one, but like everybody else. But I'm very grateful that he came to me and wanted to do it. And he showed up in his unbuttoned flannel shirt for a meeting at a coffee shop on Sunset and Crescent Heights. Yeah. And we sat there for 4 hours, and here we are 19 years later. I'll say it like a bickering old couple.
Well, guys, I'm
we're done?
Yeah. Well, first of all, there's a couple ways we can tell that we're done. We've used up our time.
Yes.
You guys have mentioned enough intersections. So you filled the intersection quota that my producer, I presume, gave you on the way in.
He said, please mention 4 intersections.
Yeah. Matt Belknap, Jimmy Pardo, thank you for taking the time. I'm so glad to be pals with you guys. I'm such a fan of yours, as you know.
Thank you.
Congratulations, man. This is a huge accomplishment. I'm so excited that look, you were in it before anybody. Like, you were in it before podcasting was a word. I feel like it's an amazing thing that you've done. So
can I just say congratulations to all three of us for continuing to not fail?
You know what? You're not wrong. We're 3 lucky dudes.
Yes.
And again, congratulations to you, and honored that we were asked to be a part of this.
Agreed. I'm looking forward to visiting you guys on your show. Jimmy Pardo, Matt Belknap, always a delight. We're going to take a little break. We're going to take a little break on the live stream so that I can go to the bathroom and have a piece of pizza.
Oh.
We'll be back in 5 minutes or so. We've got Janet, Varney, Solomon, Georgio, David Wain, Lisa Loeb, Elliott Kalan, and the great Bob Odenkirk around the corner. Please stay tuned. Maybe I should be addressing this camera over here. Welcome back, everybody, to the Bullseye 25 for 25 streaming spectacular. It's the 25th anniversary of Bullseye with Jesse Thorn. I, of course, am Bullseye. We are interviewing 25 people in a row to celebrate the 25th anniversary. My next guest actually just asked me, does it feel like you've been on the air for more than 2.5 hours? And the honest truth is it feels like less, because I am so happy to see everyone. And it is really nice to see my friends that I've made from hosting the show, my friends that I have made in real life and invited onto the show and have been part of the show. And I'm being reminded that this, I guess, is my life's work. And I'm happy that it is, that I'm happy for the relationships. My next guest on the program is a longtime friend of this show, a longtime friend of Maximum Fun, the producing organization behind this program. She's a comedian and actor. She was on You're the Worst. She was on The Legend of Korra. She was the titular Korra on The Legend of Korra. She's the co-host of the podcast E Pluribus Motto, a podcast about state mottos with my friend and co-host John Hodgman. So we are co-hosts by proxy. She is also one of the stars of the new Netflix series Splinter Cell, which drops later this month. Janet Varney. Hi, Janet. How are you?
Jesse Thorn, thank you for including me in 25 for 25. What number am I? Do we know? Are we keeping track?
21? Something like that?
21?
Kevin Ferguson, what do we got? 18 or 19?
18 or 19.
18 or 19. Yeah, we've had a couple.
Lucky 18 or 19.
Tanya Mosley from Fresh Air, her child had a flag football injury.
Oh.
Was unable to come. There's been a couple of
And there will be. That's life.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
That's what you've learned to do over time. You know, you started in radio. That was live, baby.
And you
that
know
was
what?
live. You had to go with it.
Am I starting to think maybe I shouldn't have told Judy Greer that we already had enough celebrities booked? Yes, maybe I am thinking that.
You pre-bumped Judy Greer.
I pre-bumped Judy Greer. Sorry, Judy.
Wow.
Sorry.
Judy.
She's a nice lady.
She's a nice lady.
She does exercise trampolining.
She does?
Yes.
Maybe I should do that again. I guess I'm at the age, or just have had enough injuries doing things, that everything someone says they do now for sport, I'm like, how would I hurt myself doing that? Like, that was my first next thought after, like, that sounds fun.
Janet, you are now a true nerd celebrity. You were always a celebrity nerd.
Uh-huh.
But now you are a true nerd celebrity because of being the voice of a famous anime character. How does that experience agree with you?
It agrees hard with me in a big, great way. I don't know what it would be like if it were not something that I loved so deeply. That feels like a real just stroke of good fortune, because there are lots of things that are good and fun and great that people get really into that I have total respect for. But I can watch a thing and know for sure, like, I like this. If I were one of the lead voices, like, I would be very proud and happy to do it. But the feeling of love that I have for the Avatarverse, I guess as we call it, is very deep and abiding. And I'll never get tired of talking about it. It's just that good. So I got so lucky in that way.
If it's any comfort to you, I also call it the Avatarverse.
Thank you. Oh, well, this is just the constant. Is it the blue people? Is it these are I would say that's the hardest thing that's happening in the United States right now. Is it Avatar?
It's really,
is it Avatar?
It's really tough times for the airbending community.
Yeah, it's just been very hard. Very hard.
But I mean, you have been running San Francisco Sketch Fest, which is one of the biggest comedy festivals in the world for decades now. And one of the things that you do is bring to town things that people feel that way about.
Yeah.
Right? Like, one of the things that San Francisco Sketch Fest does is present, whatever the best sketch comedy groups in the country are and some of the best stand-ups in the country at that time. But the other thing that you do is bring Teen Witch to town. I mentioned Teen Witch because I was in a van with Teen Witch once. Yeah. She was very nice. But that world of what is the thing that is special to someone.
Yeah. That's I thank you for bringing that up, because I am so in the shit right now vis-a-vis Sketchfest planning that it's very hard to see the forest for the trees. So it's very, very nice and important to have people remind you of what it's going to feel like when the shows are happening and people are overjoyed and the talent is having a great time. Because when you're just scrunched down in front of a computer, like punching numbers in to a spreadsheet, you're like, why am I doing this again? So you have to have the feedback of, like, the positive part of it that makes it totally worth it and is why we keep doing it.
Do you think that you learned anything from your experience as an organizer of special nerd events that applies to your current life that is in part being part of special nerd events?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I think everything connects back. I think that's sort of turns out to be true for, like, everyone I know who does a bunch of different stuff. And it's something that I think I've I feel like I've been able to communicate that to people who are maybe not in a place in their careers where they would like to be, but maybe they're doing something adjacent, or they feel like they're so close to something, but it still feels so far away. And I really can honestly say, like, I don't know, man, you're putting a lot of tools in the toolbox, whether or not it feels like there's some direct line that you're supposed to be on. Everything that I've done up to and including like working, like managing people at Pottery Barn in my 20s, I still feel like, oh man, I legit like use some of the stuff that I learned just doing that, like, comes into play. And
okay,
everything
what's an
feeds back
example?
in.
What's an example of a Pottery Barn skill?
Pottery Barn skill was definitely like, I was too young to be in charge of people who were older than me. And I feel like it really helped me navigate like what it means to be a young person versus a more mature person, and how to treat a mature person with total respect while still somehow facilitating getting something done, and not having that person feel like they're being, talked down to by a child. That is a genuine thing that, like, now I feel like I look for that in people who are younger than me, like doctors. Like, now that I'm in a place where like someone is operating me who is younger than me, like, it's interesting to see how people navigate the age thing, because it both doesn't matter and always does matter. And it's just an interesting, like, little thing to drop into whatever a dynamic is.
Janet, we're out of time.
Just like that.
That was our 5 minutes. Janet Varney, it's always great to see you.
That's great to see you.
I always
Thanks for
feel lucky when I get to see you. Thank you for all of your innumerable contributions to my career, including giving me a job when I was completely indigent.
You know what? You had to boss me around when you were our publicist, and I was a little older than you, and you did it with such grace, and that's the Pottery Barn way. So thank you, Jesse.
Janet Varney!
Happy 25th!
Thank you. It's Bullseye. We're doing 25 interviews for our 25th anniversary. My next guest is one of my favorite stand-up comics, as well as a brilliant comedy writer. He's currently writing on the 3rd season of Survival of the Thickest, which will be out next year on Netflix. Mr. Solomon Georgio.
Hi, Jesse.
Solomon, can I tell you something that I was thinking about as I was thinking about you coming in?
Yeah.
All stand-up comics make comedy albums. Mm-hmm. All stand-up comics who get to the point of having an hour anyway.
Yeah.
At this point, there's like clubs where they'll just be like, do you want to record an album while you're here?
Yeah.
So it's everybody. You can just throw it on Spotify. You don't even have to pay to have CDs burned.
No.
These albums have different levels of commitment to even their titles, to say nothing of their art direction.
Yeah.
Your stand-up comedy album has the most extravagant art direction
yes,
of any comedy record I have ever witnessed with my eyes.
Yes.
Tell me, describe the cover of your album for me.
The cover, I specifically, I wanted to do full glam, and I got custom nails done, these really long black nails with just amazing like rhinestones put on them. And
did you already have a person?
I got the nails first, and then I hired a makeup artist for the shoot. And
I mean a nails person. Did you have a person like?
Yeah, there's a separate person for the nails.
Right. I know, and I'm aware. Solomon, don't gay-splain to me. Solomon, what I mean is, did you already have an extravagant nail person? Because some people have a special person. Sometimes they even come to your house, I've learned recently.
Yes. My person, because these were like, because they're just like high-end, the ones you
glue on.
And it was actually just a friend of a friend. Well, now we're friends ourselves, and she just happened to take on the skill, and she was amazing at it. But she no longer does it, so no, you cannot get the nail girl again.
So you got the giant nails.
I got the giant nails, and I pretty much just looked at the makeup artist, and I was like, Grace Jones. I probably said it 3 times throughout, and she delivered. She like gave me this amazing big smoky eye, big lashes, this metallic lipstick, and that was the cover. It was like, and the photographer Kim Newmoney, who's like one of my personal friends, and she's an amazing photographer. She was like, red light from one side, blue light from the other side, and it really made this just really bold cover out of it. So
Did you have hair at the time that you conceived of?
No, I'm not wearing. I'm just bald.
But you're not. You have. So what I'm asking is, as you sit before me right now, you have a gorgeous hairline.
Oh yes,
Solomon has gorgeous hair.
It's the Ethiopian forehead, as I like to call it. It's spacious, but it's still
but dignified, handsome. And on your album cover, you are as Grace Jones.
Yes,
as like you just put your head into a bowling ball shiner.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I put my trust into some amazing people, and I ended up, because I had the idea, but it just like, I'm one of those people who's very fortunate when I make an artistic decision that I have people who can make it better than my own actual thoughts. And that is very lucky and very queer and very fortunate.
Do you feel like you are where you should be in your stand-up comedy career, Solomon?
Well, for me, stand-up is such like an insanely large passion that I actually truly genuinely never thought I'd even get this far. So I'm now mentally catching up to the fact that I want to keep going. And so I'm now in the place where I'm like kind of just doing like a career revival, because I just kind of like took a backseat for writing, and now I'm like, oh, I miss talking to people. I miss that level of validation. I'm a narcissist. I didn't need it.
Do you think you found your audience as a stand-up? I mean, I've seen you perform for very general audiences, and you go over great.
I feel like finding your audience is always going to be. I think that just comes with finding your voice. Like, I definitely have more people who show up to things. I have people who I consider themselves fans, but in all honesty, like, I'm always constantly in the pursuit of more audience, and just for me, it's always going to be about what can I do to make my point of view funny to as many people as possible. So I'm not really concerned if I end up finding my audience out of it. Like, I'm happy to have nothing but a bunch of strangers who have to convince that I'm funny.
Would you like to be a queer icon?
I already am, and it's just fine.
It's only okay. It's only okay.
It's
You're
just
telling
fine.
me.
It's just like you just take it day by day. You just wake up and you're like, yeah, I'm amazing, and then you go to bed still stunning, and it's.
Do you call Liza for advice?
It takes a lot of work to serve all day, but I do it.
Well, Solomon, as you know, you're one of my favorite comics and favorite funny human beings on earth. One of the funniest people, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I'm very happy to get to see you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I agree.
Happy to be here. Thank you for coming by, Solomon Georgio. Speaking of some of my favorite people who are funny on earth, this is one of my all-time comedy favorite heroes. Joining me by speakerphone is the one and only Mr. Bob Odenkirk. Don't we have a phone machine? Why are we miking a speakerphone, Kevin? He doesn't know how to.
Analog, man.
He doesn't know. He tells me he doesn't know how to work the phone machine. That's how young he is. He doesn't. Well, Bob, thank you so much for taking the time. It's so nice to get to talk to you. Did you know that my original co-host Jordan and Jean, who I did the show with in college, were just here? And one of the things that happened in my life that changed my life was Gene was from the Valley, and he had a video store near him where you could buy bootleg VHS tapes of television shows.
Wow.
And he brought extra long play videos of the Larry Sanders Show, Tenacious D, and Mr. Show to our dorms.
Wow. So like these videotapes had the whole season on them.
These videotapes, I'm going to say those television programs were on a total of 4 VHS tapes.
So there's like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
So the visual quality is
abysmal.
But so what? It doesn't matter. What matters is it's well written and smart and surprising, and you guys were cool. That's what matters.
Did you know that you were like literally changing people's lives at the time?
You know, I loved Monty Python so much when I was 11, and I could easily imagine a young 11, 12, 13, and college-age kid going, what the hell? This is cool. Someone's doing something smart and cool. And their brain being excited by, you know, the degree to which we cared and the way we mixed absurdity with silliness and smartness. And I believed that there were young people out there just like me from years ago going, yeah, I get it. And the challenge was to keep it on the air because young people were not able to afford HBO. Only older people were able to afford HBO. And so we just got lucky a little bit. You know, I think the people who worked at HBO, Chris Albrecht and Carolyn Strauss, loved the show. And they wanted any excuse to keep it on. So they found those excuses.
I mean, I got to say, the memory that I have of the first time that you were on The Sound of Young America, which now is probably 20 years ago, maybe a little more than 20 years ago, was the level of ideological fervor that you had about sketch comedy, that you had like left Saturday Night Live, the greatest sketch comedy program of all time. Maybe Python is, but you know, by many measures, the greatest sketch comedy program of all time.
Yeah.
And you had left there, you know, enriched and having learned a lot, but like your commitment to these particular ideals, like what kind of walls and doors there should be, were the thing that you were talking to me about on The Sound of Young America when you were on.
Yeah. I mean, it was something I cared passionately about and had thought at length about, and I had my theories. And would I ever get a chance to put them to practice was, you know, really very questionable that would happen in the context in the world that we had at the time, where there were so few opportunities. And somehow through steady, you know, beating my head against the wall and patience, or just not really patience, stick-to-itiveness, I did get that chance. And it was so satisfying that when it was over, I didn't know what else to do with my body and brain and life. I literally was like, okay, well, I can die now. If I had, it would have been like, what I would have left behind is, well, I'm done.
I mean, you guys were, I saw you guys on tour around that time. It really was like you were shot out of a rocket to make this thing that was your dream. And then you have to figure out, like, what is the thing after you did your dream?
Yeah, it really, it's a weird scenario and one people rarely get. I bet a lot of athletes get this because it sort of fits with like an athlete's effort to get better and better and push themselves and kill themselves. But there comes a point where they simply are done. And whatever they've done, that's done. And that dream is gone, and not in a bad way, in a good way. They got to act out and fulfill that dream. So now what? And I wouldn't say I floundered, but I did search. And then something found me, which was drama acting, which was came out of, you know, really not anything I was pursuing. But I realized I had some presence there that was of value.
Now that you're a celebrated dramatic actor, your dramatic acting has often included comic elements. It's not like you're doing things that aren't funny. But do you feel the siren call of just like yelling something dumb at someone in a classic?
Being stupid? Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I'm doing a movie right now that is totally in line with Mr. Show and everything we did. My wife is producing it. A bunch of great people are in it, and I'm not going to explain anything about it. It's called the making of Jesus diabetes.
Well, it requires no explanation, Bob. It's self-evident.
No. Self-evident.
Well, thank you for taking the time.
Hey, man, congratulations on carrying on so long and so well and being great at what you do and talking to cool people. And thanks for including me in it.
Of course. And Bob, thank your wife as well. Another person who was on the show when I was still doing it out of Santa Cruz. So grateful to her for doing it and for her help in later years with her clients when she became a show business big shot.
She's right in the other room. We're shooting the movie now.
Okay. Well,
I thought I would be done hours ago.
Well, thank you for making the time, Bob. It's always nice to get to talk to you. I hope we'll see you again soon.
All right. Thanks so much. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Our next guest on the program, well, here's the honest truth. Tanya Mosley from Fresh Air's kid had a flag football injury. Somebody else had a family situation that came up, and we got to have 25 people on the show. So our next guest on the program is the senior producer of Bullseye, the producer of Bullseye for the last, 7 years or something like that. I couldn't tell you. Mr. Kevin Ferguson. Come on in, Kevin. It's amazing to me, Kevin, all these years producing the show, and you never learned to use the phone machine.
We've had that phone machine for a long time. Let me move this mic up a little bit. We have not used it in like 6 years. I don't even know if that thing is still plugged in. And the fact is, Bob Odenkirk called me. He was very nice. And he was like, I'm so sorry the shoot is running long. And I was like, well, do you want to do it over the phone? And he's like, yeah, I can do it right now. Zipped it on in here. That's showbiz, baby.
I guess that's show business. You know how I got that phone machine, Kevin? I sold my car.
Oh, my God.
I had a 1962 Dodge Dart, 62, 65. I can't remember. And I sold it to a nice man who was going to work on it with his son. And I bought probably one of the microphones that we're talking into here.
The SM7B.
The SM7B. And I bought the Mackie mixer that's above our ceiling right now. Inside a bag.
God bless that thing.
Yeah, hasn't been brought out probably in 10 years.
Yeah.
And I bought that phone machine, and the phone machine was the expensive purchase.
Yeah, those used to be very pricey.
That was a like $1,500 machine. I bought it secondhand, but I think it cost me $600, which was $600 more than I had.
Do you remember when I texted you the other day that I found a fully functioning ISDN machine?
Yeah.
At the thrift shop by my house?
$14.99.
Yeah, those things used to be thousands of dollars as well. ISDNs were basically like what?
Digital telephone lines, yeah.
Yeah, Terry Gross would do all of her interviews over ISDN before, the internet happened.
Kevin, how long have you been the producer of Bullseye now?
I started in October of 2016.
You ever thought about quitting?
No.
I'm not forcing you to. I'm just sincerely asking that. It's my job as the interviewer to try and ask revealing questions.
When I first went into radio, I had an internship at Marketplace. And I was like, well, I'll look for a job after this. And if it doesn't work out, I don't know, I guess I'll be a cook or something. Because I was not into the idea of working in a 9-to-5 otherwise. And then after hearing about what it's like to actually be a cook, I'm really grateful I went into public radio and podcasting.
I do make you say, yes, chef, when I give you orders, though.
I really wish that would stop after 25 years, too.
Well, what is the biggest challenge of working on Bullseye?
I think it's to create, I think it's the booking. It's to find really interesting and really famous people and make the time happen. We worked really hard to get Bob Odenkirk on, and things happen. We're so grateful that he set aside the time, but it's just making the thing happen and not panicking if you can't do it. I've worked in a lot of live radio situations, and when something goes wrong, you just gotta roll with the punches. You have to do something every week.
That's my greatest terror, is to host. I consider the apotheosis of public radio to be hosting the local midday call-in show. The Air Talk with Larry Mantle here in Los Angeles, Forum, formerly with Michael Krasny in San Francisco, the Brian Lair show or whatever. That world where there's 75 things happening at once is awe-inspiring to me.
You know A. Martinez, the Morning Edition host?
Yeah.
He was a sports guy before he was a public radio guy. And he would do, even when he was a public radio guy, he would still do like Lakers on the line. He loved it. He loved it because he could just go to the calls, have some guy talk for like, 20 minutes about like why they brought Jeremy Lin on or something like that. And just kind of toy with the callers for a little bit. Nothing he liked more. He was so relaxed by it. And that is equally crazy to me.
Do you think that you should have just gone into producing live call-in radio where your only job is to like circle some newspaper articles for the host and then screen calls?
I did that for a little bit. I was talking to Randy Sklar. We had a segment that we did once on this show about twins, and the host, this was when Julian Castro and his twin both appeared at the DNC, and the host was like, aren't twins kind of creepy? Let's do a segment on that.
Well, let's leave it there. Kevin Ferguson, thank you so much for joining me on Bullseye. Kevin
Thank
is
you.
senior producer of Bullseye for almost 10 years now.
Yes.
I'm so grateful. Obviously to say I couldn't do it without you is an absurd understatement.
Very
It's
grateful to
the
be
most
here.
literal thing. I'm so grateful for your partnership in making this show.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Our next guest on the show is another both beloved hero of mine and longtime repeat guest on this program. He is one of the founding members of the state. He was the director of Wet Hot American Summer, among other films. He is one of the members of Middle-Aged Dad Jam Band, which is a cover band with other people he knows, like Ken Marino, that plays real venues with in front of real crowds. And frankly does a great job, an almost upsettingly great job. David Wain, welcome back to Bullseye. Nice to see you. It's nice to see
been
you
way
too.
too long. I'm adjusting this for no particular reason. Sorry.
What gave you and your fellow middle-aged Dad Jam Band members the temerity to think that you should perform in front of others rather than just alone in a garage in shame like most dads do?
I like the word temerity.
Thank you.
It's a great question because we had, at least at first, really had no business doing anything other than just playing for each other in the garage. But it was, we were jamming in the pandemic and we were like, this is so fun. And you know what happened? We got called up by Janet Varney, who you might have met at some point.
Just in this studio moments ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And they were like, these jams we've seen on your Instagram, you want to do something like that here at actually it was more like, what do you want to do at Sketchfest? And I'm like, how about our band? And they were like, oh, okay, we'll figure out something. But we said, it's going to be the Middle-Aged Jam. And then we did a little test show right across the street here at Dynasty Typewriter. And we put together this performing band which is me and Ken and other dads and my son and like my niece and a bunch of friends and random people. And it kind of did coalesce into a band, like a cover band. And it's just super fun. And
do you have to explain that you're doing this when you're like, you directed another feature film recently?
Yeah.
When you're in a show business meeting and they say, what have you been up to? And you're like, oh, I'm touring with my cover band.
It's really more the opposite. It's more like people come up to me and they're like, hey, I love the band. And I'm like, oh, great. Can I get a job doing what I've been training myself to do for the last 40 years? No. Tell us about the band. Like, when can you play at our party or something?
Are you going to become like, I mean, for the last 25 years of his life or something, Biz Markie made his living as a celebrity DJ, right? Like, this is available to you. You could be playing whatever the obviously the celebrity party that came to my mind was an abusive one, as it turns out. We recently learned, but like you could be playing a different.
I want to play all the tech bro parties. I want the billionaires to hire us.
Okay,
and give us tips. No, but I think I mean, listen, there's always another act, another era in one's career. Who knows?
I mean, I feel like you could be playing, when Channing Tatum gets married, you could be playing Channing Tatum's wedding.
Channing, if you're listening, we're available.
Can you tell me anything about this feature film that you alluded to on your social media but didn't explain?
The film involves Zoe Deutsch is the main character, and also John Slattery is in it, and John Hamm is in it, and an incredible cast. Ben Wong is in it, and a bunch of other people. And I wrote it with Ken Marino. And if you know me at all, it's very David Wain. And it's a script that Ken Marino and I wrote a little while back and have always kept kind of tinkering with it and wanting to figure out the right way to make it. And we finally got a chance to this year, and it's super awesome. I'm very excited about it. We actually locked picture today.
Congratulations on that.
And I'm just grateful. It's harder and harder to make movies, especially comedies. And we shot this here in LA, and it's an independent original film that's not a IP or anything. And it was a very cool opportunity to do it.
It would be amazing if you had been talking about it that entire time, and then I just found out that it was based on Tony the Tiger.
Yeah. It's the Frosted Flakes movie. Don't judge it.
Is it easy for you to lock picture?
It's not that hard, and it's funny. I told a few different people that we're locking picture, and they're like, "Oh my God, it must be so exciting!" And what a momentous moment. And it's this part of the filmmaking process is such a slow drip because you've kind of finished it a few weeks ago, and you still got months more to go before it's really fully done. But this is the point where we theoretically have stopped the picture editing process, which is exciting. And it is cool. And we did the final watch down yesterday, and we identified our final little notes. But now we know that there's still a world of VFX, music, and sound, and graphics, and color, and other things to do.
I was listening to Sidney Lumet on Fresh Air this week.
Good friend.
And of mine. Yeah, great friend of this show.
Not true, for the record.
It's true that I'm friends with him. I have a sort of spectral relationship.
Oh, cool.
And Sidney Lumet was talking to
like
Terry
that movie
Gross
October Sky?
No, like the scene in Ghostbusters where Slimer.
Yeah. I thought you meant in Ghost.
No, the scene in Ghost. No, it's not Slimer. It's a different. The scene where
there is a
Dan
scene in Ghost
Aykroyd
with
wakes
a spectral
up,
relationship,
and you see that he and the ghost.
Sure.
My point here is, Sidney Lumet, one of the greatest American directors. I'm listening to him talk to Terry Gross about what he likes about filmmaking, and he's like, the one thing I don't like is the sound mix.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate the sound mix.
I'll tell you, want to know my least favorite part?
Yes.
It's called the Tech Scout.
What's that?
It's the part where you've already looked at all the locations so you know where you're going to shoot. And then you have to go in a bus with all the key crew before you actually start shooting and go look at it and figure out the logistics of we're going to put the catering over here and you also do some of the creative work. So the director does have to be there because you're like, I'm going to shoot this direction and then this part will be safe. And you ride in a bus and it's hot and it's boring and I hate it.
What's your favorite part? Recess?
Yeah, recess. I will say probably overall the editing process is the most fun because it's just so endlessly. It's like doing 5 puzzles at once all day, every day.
I'm surprised to hear you say that. That's not what I would have expected to hear.
I think the writing is super painful. I mean, I very much feel super lucky and love the fact that I shift gears during the process of doing something. So I love that you're alone, you're writing, or you're with your partner or something, and then it gets bigger and you start having meetings, and then you're starting prepping, and then more and more people, and then you're on shooting, and it's like running an army, and it's crazily a certain type of adrenaline, and then it all gets quiet again, and you're with a certain small group, and you're figuring out. But to me, the final process of putting all the pieces of the puzzle that you've collected over this years sometimes, and now piecing them together and seeing how it's going to work and being creative in that way for sure is the most exciting.
Can you tell me one choice that you were excited to make when you were in the editing room? Where it fit like a piece of a puzzle?
I mean, it does happen every day. Maybe if I just talk in generalities of specific will come to mind, but so often I continually marvel every time, decade after decade, that you're sitting there, and you know this from anything one creates, is that something's not funny, and then you're like, try shaving off a half a second on that one part, and you do, and you're like, oh my God, suddenly it's funny. Where is that magic, And I also just I like that I have a certain amount of experience, and you can guess and try things, or you learn the muscle to come up with an idea and be like, I know this has nothing to do with what we were planning on doing, but what if we turn left here? And you're like, oh, and whether it's on the page or on the set or in the edit room, it's a very fun job.
David, can I tell you?
That was my way of avoiding a specific answer to your question.
David, can I tell you that I met my co-hosts of The Sound of Young America when I was in college. We were all in college. We were dorm mates. Can I tell you what the most valued single item on our hall was?
Was it a bong?
No, there was a nice young man named Michael, and he had a copy of State by State with the state.
Oh, yeah.
The state book.
The infamous state book.
We all fought each other for it.
Did you read it?
Yeah, it was hilarious. It's a great book. It's hilarious.
The story of that was that after the state kind of fell apart in the late 90s, we got somehow a deal to write a book. And we decided that we didn't want to really work hard on it or do anything together. And so we said everyone just got assigned to write pages of a travel guide. And then we would organize it by state. And Ben Garant and I sat in a living room with all these different papers and put them in order and then handed them into the publisher. And
and those people that you avoided work with are still your compatriots to this day.
Every day. Through and through.
David, thank you so much. I can't tell you what it means to have you here.
Well, I loved this first few minutes just getting warmed up, and now let's really just dive in and start getting into
my next guest on the program is the production fellow, David Wain. Thank you so much, David.
Congrats on your anniversary.
Thank you. It's very nice to see you.
See you later.
My next guest on the program is the production fellow at Maximum Fun. That's right. 2 people canceled, so there's 2 production staff coming into the studio. She's going to be playing the Crepe Place in Santa Cruz on November 6th. Hannah Moroz. Hi, Hannah. How are you?
Hello.
Are you actually playing the Crepe Place?
Yeah, I'm for real doing that.
I just assumed that was a Santa Cruz joke.
No.
What are you doing? What are you doing there?
Play music.
Oh.
Music's what I do, Jesse.
Oh, well, I thought you... How silly of me to think that you worked on my radio show.
That's the other thing I do. I actually do a lot of things, unfortunately. I don't have enough arms to do that many things.
Well, I don't care about your music career, Hannah.
Okay.
We're here to talk about your work on Bullseye with Jesse Thorn. This is my night.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm the princess.
I just came here to ruin it a little.
I just want to say, Hannah...
Can I look directly into that thing?
Yeah, let's address our camera here.
All right. Yeah,
I just want people who don't know this already to know that for a Crepe Place, the Crepe Place is a very serious music venue.
I'm learning that.
That's one of the top crepe music venues in America, I would say.
It's got to at least be in the top 3.
To get a gig at the Crepe Place, no joke. That was one of the that's one of the grails that you're reaching for. That's the brass ring you're hoping for if you're a musician in Santa Cruz.
Man, I feel like I am absolutely taking it for granted. This feels very far away from me because I didn't know anything about it. I just learned how cool it actually is.
And you're a rapper?
I'm a singer-songwriter with a guitar and piano.
Okay.
You can tell by looking at me.
What is the worst part about working on Bullseye with Jesse Thorn? You can't be fired. This is being broadcast live on air.
The worst part is I live in Long Beach and this office is an hour away from my home.
Yeah, depending on what time of day it is.
But could be worse. I don't know. Living in Long Beach means everything I've ever done has been an hour away from my home. So
what did you think it was going to be like to work on Bullseye, and how does what it's actually like compare?
I think I came in with some working knowledge of how to run a podcast that you publish to the internet. I didn't know anything about radio distribution. So what is new and bold and exciting to me is the NPR of it all. It's the radio audience is very different from an internet audience.
You're just saying that because you get the emails? Is that what you're telling me?
Sure. And also because I know internet people and I don't know radio people quite as well.
We got an email once, an enraged email that I had said that the best pop song of all time was I Want You Back by the Jackson 5.
Hot take.
And
no one else has ever said.
They were enraged. They said, "How dare I?" Because in their opinion, it was Mares Eat Oats. Mares Eat Oats.
Yeah, for sure. And that was a radio person that emailed you that?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes, Hannah, it was. Correct. You've identified the sort of person who would send us that email.
So I've learned something.
What's Kevin's worst quality?
Oh, no. Kevin, no. Kevin, I'm trapped in the box and he said, be mean. Kevin.
Kevin does get really mad at publicists.
He's just
like huffy. Kevin gets huffy with them.
Kevin has boundaries. Kevin exercises boundaries with publicists.
Do you feel like you could grow up to be the kind of person who can smile at publicists no matter what they're saying?
No. I don't know that I have grown up to be the type of person to smile at anyone no matter what they're saying.
That's the essential quality that led me to be able to book Bullseye for the many years that I was the only person working on it.
It's really profitable to be able to do that, and I am learning. Here at Bullseye, they teach you to smile no matter what anybody else is saying.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, if you're out there, just remember, we say women should smile more.
Smile more, always, no matter what. Essential. Yeah.
What is a skill that you think you've learned working on the show? A concrete skill?
Oh, God. Time management. Like 110%. That's something I'm actively learning.
How did you have to learn it?
I've been working, I think before this I'd been working freelance for so long that it was fine that everything lives in my head. And, I make up my day and that's how it goes. And that's one way to live professionally. It does not translate well to teamwork. So that's my time. Not good at teamwork. Hi, I'm here for Bullseye. Not good at teamwork. And goodbye.
Well, Hannah, we'll see you at the Crepe Place in November.
See you there.
Hannah Moroz, our production fellow. Okay, we've only got 2 guests left. Our penultimate guest in our 25 for 25 marathon. I am starting to flag, but what a thrill it is. What an enervating thrill it is to have our next guest in the studio. She's a singer-songwriter of many hit songs. She has a daily show on Sirius XM 90s on 9. She's about to be on tour with Joan Osborne, the great Lisa Loeb. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm thrilled to see you. I had therapy earlier today, Lisa.
Okay.
And I said to my therapist, I got this thing coming up. I'm interviewing 25 people. I got Huebel and Scheer and Lisa Loeb is coming in. And my therapist said, oh, you must be nervous about Lisa Loeb. You had a crush on her when you were 13. And I said, yes. And then my therapist said, she's very beautiful. And I said, yes. It's true. That's a true story about me in therapy.
I love that. It sounds like it was translated from another language, but I love it. I love it.
Well, all my therapy sounds that way.
And you had a therapist today. That's a lot of talking. Don't you get sometimes when you're talking to the therapist and then you're like, oh, I'm so tired from talking.
I don't know, Lisa. Do you ever get tired of playing beautiful music?
Oh, let me think about that.
I hate music now, you say to yourself?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's so many distractions these days, but that's very sweet. Thank you. I was just listening to you the other night, driving around. That's like one of the great things about LA traffic at night is that you get to listen to great radio.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Are you a talking in the car person or a music in the car person?
Well, to myself, I am a depends on who I'm in the car.
I'm not talking about
with.
what kind of performance you're doing in the car. What do you have on the stereo?
On the stereo, it depends on what I'm doing. Like if it's just me, I am listening to usually NPR, or I'm listening to a book if I'm listening to a really good book, or I like listening to religious radio, a lot of different religious radio.
Different religious radio?
Yeah, different religions. Catholic radio. I'm Jewish, but it's very interesting. Sometimes I listen to radio with people who have very different points of view than I do, aside from the religious radio. And sometimes, like today, I was listening to a couple of songs that I'm going to be singing with a band tomorrow night at the Village Arts in Los Angeles with Adam Felber's dad band called Super Spreader. So I was working on those songs. So I was listening to the same song over and over again. I talk on the phone a lot in the car.
Oh.
Yeah. But if my kids are in the car, I listen to what they want to hear.
I can imagine you talking on the phone on a treadmill like a entertainment executive in a movie.
I do that in my I don't do it on a treadmill. I do like treadmills, though. They're fun. But I walk around my neighborhood a lot. And it's funny because I run into other people who are also doing the same thing in Los Angeles because it's so beautiful outside and you're having these great phone conversations. Unless I need to be in front of my computer because it's an actual serious phone, serious conversation.
Do you have purpose music for when you're in the car? Like, do you have music for when you need to get going somewhere or music for when it's night and the lights are twinkling or those kinds of things?
Oh, I should, but I don't. If you ask me when I was 15 or 16, I would say 100%. I was so into music for mood and I needed different music for different things. And I loved, Led Zeppelin for this and that thing with the window rolled down and Brian Eno music for airports and, really specific things, The Cure, The Police. Now I am like, I just need it to be quiet or I just need to like zone out or I want to learn something. And so often it's less music and more somebody talking about something for some reason.
Do you know what the one music that I still like? I mostly listen to podcasts in the car or the baseball game, if there's a baseball game. But the one music that I'm very committed to listening to in the car is if I'm not getting on the freeway, then I drive with my windows down and listen to rap music really loud.
You're so cool.
Because I don't get to in my house.
Do you turn up the bass? Like in my car, my son like listens to a lot of rap music, and so every time he gets in the car, he goes to the he changes the EQ and he like jams up the bass really loud.
I mean, I do
loud.
I miss the like rock, jazz, classical buttons on the front of my CD player.
Those used to drive. I thought they were so neat, and then they used to drive me crazy. And I was such a EQ nerd. I was like, why are they preset like that? I do sometimes. I will say now that you said that, whenever I go pick up my kids at camp, or maybe it's summertime, I will roll down my window sometimes. Maybe I'll have like a Coca-Cola with ice in it, or some kind of something that feels sentimental, nostalgic, and I will listen to summer soft pop songs from the 70s, stuff that I would have listened to when I went to camp when I was 9, 10, 11, 12, and I love it, like Supertramp and maybe the one song by What's the Matter with the Clothes I'm Wearing? That song was really popular at summer camp. Songs from Urban Cowboy, but very 70s summer songs. It really makes me happy.
My friend Johnathan Colton made an album and he's a singer-songwriter himself, where it's beautiful songs. But he just decided, I am making an album. He called it Some Guys, that was his covers of FM light rock from the 70s. And the art project of it was, he said, I did not want to interpret these songs. I wanted to record these songs. And so what he did is he's an incredible musician and a beautiful singer, but he just tried to make every sound on all of the recordings of all of his favorite songs and made this beautiful sort of like art project of how close can he get to recreating these like Grand Funk Railroad ballads or whatever.
That's really hard. Did he do the 10cc? I'm not in love.
I bet he did.
That one's a really hard one. I gotta listen to that. My friend Chad Fisher has a band, and he did a number of the songs from the 70s as well. They are interpreted. They have some interpretations, so they're not just like the real ones, but it's not like crazy out there interpretations. But that's like so brilliant. You can learn so much from doing something like that too.
What is the sound that you're most jealous of?
The sound like
on another musician's recording. What is the thing?
There's so many good things. I mean, the guitar tone on like a Kinks record or Led Zeppelin record or the wah 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 on the David Bowie Space Oddity. There's just so many things to be jealous of. Oh my gosh, the bass sound in Tell Me Something Good. God damn it.
Yeah. I'm insane about
what about you? Yeah.
The intro of Love and Happiness by Al Green, that chunk, 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 chunk. Just that sound.
So good.
That whatever it is, that kick drum or whatever it is that brings it in. Lisa Loeb, first of all, I appreciate you coming to stop by. I'm always thrilled to see you. Second of all, thank you for matching your water bottle to your sweatshirt.
You're welcome. That's really a coincidence.
Not at all. You did it on purpose. Thank you, Lisa. It's
You're
very
welcome.
nice to see you. Lisa Loeb, what a legend. A legend both to me and to my therapist. You're done, Lisa. You're done.
I'm done.
We only
I'm
have
done.
5 minutes.
Thank you.
We did 7.
Oh my gosh.
I was enthralled.
Enthralled by the magic of it all.
The magic of it all. The magic of the
Can we
great.
do a selfie like
Lisa
this?
Loeb, yes. Okay.
Great. Perfect. Fabulous.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
My final guest is the former head writer of The Daily Show, the former head writer of Mystery Science Theater 3000, the co-host of the podcast, The Flophouse. He's writing the Harley Quinn comic book series for DC Comics. He has a book coming out in November called Joke Farming, How to Write Comedy and Other Nonsense. My friend, Elliott Kalan. Hello, Elliott.
Hi, Jesse.
How are you, my friend?
I'm frantic.
What's that?
And I won't want to take too much time talking about my travails getting to the studio today. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be part of this.
I'm thrilled to have you
This
here.
historic milestone.
Are you okay?
I'm all right. You know, the offices of Max Fun have the same address of another building that happens to be in Santa Monica, California, which is not a close place.
Yeah.
And I was in a rush to get here. I said, I want to be on time. So I put the address into my car navigation system. I won't say the name of my car because it's a company owned by a terrible person. And the two of the exact same address come up, and I rolled the dice, and it came up Snake Eyes Jesse.
Oh, no.
And I ended up in the wrong one. I was like, it's telling me longer than it usually takes to get there. Traffic. It must be traffic. It's traffic. So I've been in the car a lot, but I couldn't miss this historic moment.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesse.
our office is 12 minutes from where you live.
It's like,
if you're driving on the right freeway.
It's like 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Yeah, but it's much. I was like, I guess traffic's bad today, but I should have taken that moment to double check.
Elliott, we're going to have you on the show for a serious full sit down about your book, Joke Farm.
I would love that. That'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Because I know how deep and committed you are to the historical and theoretical questions of where comedy comes from.
Yes, and how it works. How do you make it work? How does it function? Yeah.
So you have been writing this book while also in parallel writing comedy for television. You've been working on a Ghostbusters television show.
Yes.
How has the process of researching, how the Marx Brothers write jokes or whatever changed your joke writing process?
That's a very good question. I think mainly and I'll just take a moment to say, and this is not me stalling so I can think of an answer. Mm-hmm. What a great question asker you are. You come up with great questions, you ask them, often of a time to listeners, I will listen to a Bullseye episode and then I will text Jesse and say, that was a great interview. That was really
I'm
good.
always very grateful to get those texts.
But it's helped me in terms of...
Can I tell you something that my therapist said to me?
Yes. I mean, is that okay? Are you allowed to break that confidentiality? I guess it's on you, yeah.
Yeah, it's a one-sided deal. I was saying, maybe it was my wife. It was one of the two people that I tell about important things with. I say, nobody I know actually listens to my show. And I said, you know what? Elliott does.
I'm a regular listener, even when it's someone I'm not interested in, just because your interview skills make me interested, which is the sign of a great interviewer. I like that you live your life. I was just going to say, like the old French saying, treat your wife like your therapist and your therapist like your wife. That's the secret to keeping them both happy. But to answer your question, it always opens up to me the possibilities for ways of creating humor, and that ideally the way you create humor is kind of comes naturally to you and then is refined into a process. And seeing the way that feels natural to other people, it gives you an idea of what's possible, what's out there. And even if you're not even if it's not your preferred way of working, seeing how it can be done can give you ideas about what you're going to do. But it also, the exciting thing is also seeing that all jokes are built out of the same elements. They all function based on the same mechanics, no matter whether it is
That's the mechanics. The beans go in the mouth.
Exactly. Then there's a gastric process that produces the gas. Yeah. In the book, I have examples from current stand-up comics. I have an example from Tristram Shandy, which is 18th century novel. A bunch of examples from the Marx Brothers because they're the funniest people who ever lived. There was at one point I was like, I'm gonna have such a wide variety of examples in this book. I'm not gonna have two examples from the same source, and that fell out the wayside because I was like, these Marx Brothers, like they're so funny. I could do so much. There's so many jokes they have that I like. I talk a little bit about Marcel Duchamp, who I think was one of the great art jokesters. That there's just so many within comedy is a lot of different things. Comedy is not necessarily just jokes, but even with the world of jokes, there's so many different forms that it can take and so many different ways to use those same elements. And so I was very inspired writing it, and I hope you are too, listeners. You read it.
What is a way of working, a way of creating comedy that you learned about that was surprising to you?
I think one way, again, keeping it with the Marx Brothers, the fact that they would start with written material and then they would continue to write basically on the road, workshopping their material. And their best material is stuff that they workshopped with all comedians do, essentially. Like you go out and perform it and then you adjust it based on that performance. But how much they really put stock, not in we're geniuses, we're so funny, we know what's funny, but in the audience did not laugh this time, throw it away. And Groucho Marx said at some point, he goes, well, the audience helps, they write the material too, because they tell us what to keep in the act and what not to keep in the act. And I feel like there's such there's such a emphasis in modern stand-up at the very least with like, you got to tell your truth, and if it makes someone uncomfortable, you're doing your job, because that's what comedy is about, making people feel uncomfortable. And it's like, well, not really. It's about making people laugh, and hopefully they enjoy themselves. Maybe they think a little bit, and there was something almost weirdly comforting in hearing, reading about people that I consider some of the greatest comedic artists ever, that they were very willing to say, and Stephen Wright talks about the same thing. If the audience doesn't laugh, even if I like the joke, I have to get rid of it. Just the freedom that they felt to listen backwards and to abdicate a little bit of their authority, because ultimately you want the audience to laugh at what you're saying. And if there are every now and again, there's maybe once or twice in a generation, there's some comedian or some comedy writer who is just so brilliant, so ahead of their time that the audience just like doesn't get it. But usually this is not the case. Usually if the audience is not laughing, then it's like, oh, I got to do something about this,
So, Elliott, are you telling me that you're taking the Ghostbusters out on the road?
Yep, that's what we're going to do. It's called Bustin' Across America. We're going to hit 50 cities in 50 days. I am so impressed by your 25 conversations for 25 years, or I don't remember how you're branding it.
Yeah, 25 for 25.
25 for 25. That we got to double it, because 25 years is an amazing amount of time to be doing anything, let alone a radio show.
It's almost distressing to me.
If you look at World War II, your show has lasted more than 4 times as long as that, the most titanic, violent conflict in the history of the world. And yet, if you put a timeline of your show and World War II next to it, you'd be like, well, this war wasn't that long.
I've only invaded Poland 3 times in that time.
But that 4th time, you're doing great. You're building up your armaments. I saw you know in the last episode you were talking about the reasons you're developing to justify it. I think you're going to do great. I think this next invasion of Poland is going to be the one that really sticks. Yeah, for you.
Well, it's clear if you're watching at home that I have reached full loopiness. I'm grateful to you for hanging out and watching, or watching later on the YouTube, or listening on the radio. And I'm grateful to you for enjoying The Sound of Young America and Bullseye for these past 25 years, every single week. We got live shows coming up in Los Angeles, in New York City, and in Santa Cruz. If you live in or near one of those places, I hope you will come. And I hope that you will stick with us here on YouTube, on the radio, on the podcast for the next 25 years. Thank you so much. You're all wonderful. Elliott, thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being a wonderful genius. I'm always happy to see you. And thanks to Kevin, Richard, Daniel, Hannah, and all the staff of Maximum Fun who made this possible. And thanks, most importantly, to Pizza Buona for delivering 8 pizzas to us. We did pay for them. It was not like a... But I'm just...
It wasn't like a, congratulations, Jesse, 25 years, what an achievement. Enjoy this pizza on us, Pizza Buona.
That's the dream. The dream ultimately... Oh, and Jesus is out there too. I just can't see him because he's down in the lobby. The dream is to get to a point where your celebrity leads pizza people to send you free pizza.
Yeah.
I'm not there, but we did order the pizzas and they came when they said they would come.
You're both upholding your ends of the social contract that is pizza.
Exactly.
You're going to order it. It's going to arrive. You're going to pay for it. You're going to eat it. And you know what's beautiful about America is you could do that, Jesse. The Ninja Turtles can do that. Anybody can do that. Yeah?
Anybody can do that. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. I love you.